All rise.
Thank you. You may be seated. Good morning. This is the time set for the 2 a.m. initial appearance calendar on September 26, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that was given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar. I'll call you each one at a time to the podium. I'll provide a second name to sit in the chair outside of this room. I will let you know what you were here for, if I have appointed an attorney, if you have a bond, and what your release conditions are. If we could start with Isabel to the podium and Brandon to the chair.
Yeah.
May I get your name and date of birth?
7/26, Isabel Toledas.
And what year were you born?
7/26/1979.
Thank you, ma'am. It does look like you are here on a new case. It is for one count of aggravated assault, a Class 2 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You'll have a couple of hearings in the downtown Superior Courthouse, starting with a status conference October 2nd at 8:30, an evidentiary hearing October 3rd at 1:30, and a preliminary hearing October 6th at 8:30. It looks like you were out on felony release on a different case at the time you were picked up for this offense, and because of that, you're not eligible for bond today. The evidentiary hearing set on October 3rd is the time set to determine if bond will be set on your new charges. All of that will be in your paperwork, ma'am. Did you have any questions?
You said I'm not able to get released?
Correct. You're not eligible for bond because you're out on felony release in a different case, and so when you're picked up for a new felony offense, the law requires us to hold you non-bondable.
Okay.
Okay? Just step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. Thank you, ma'am. Brandon to the podium and Jesse to the chair.
Oops, sorry.
May I get your name and date of birth?
Brandon Shear, June 24th, 1982.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on two cases. You're here on a new case as well as a warrant from University Lakes Justice Court. Your new charges are for one count of disorderly conduct involving a weapon, a Class 6 felony, one count of disorderly conduct, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and one count of threat, a Class 1 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference on October 2nd at 8:30, a preliminary hearing October 6th at 8:30. Those are both in the downtown Superior Courthouse. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $50,000. In the event you post that bond, you will be released to the supervision of pretrial services and equipped with electronic monitoring. You also have written conditions of release. You may not return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, and you may not possess weapons. Your second case is a warrant that was issued. It looks like it's for an offense date of March 9th, 2025 for criminal trespass, a misdemeanor charge. I am going to appoint an attorney and set an arraignment hearing in the University Lakes Justice Court on October 1st at 8:30, and you have a bond of $100 in that case. Again, in the event bond is posted, you have written conditions of release, and you may not possess any weapons. All of this will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions?
So I will not get released tomorrow?
Not without posting bond. If you don't post bond, you'll remain in custody.
Okay, so how do I do that? I don't know.
How do you post bond? So the officers are going to take you to the next step, which is processing, and they're going to give you all the instructions on how to get that posted once they're ready to move some of you guys out of the gallery.
The warrant you said, I called and it was cleared. I talked to my probation officer and they said I didn't have to show up for court for that.
You'll have to discuss that with University Lakes Justice Court. They have a warrant that they've indicated is valid, and they issued that on June 2nd, 2025.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Jesse to the podium, David to the chair. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Jesse Almeida, 22880.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a new case. I do note that you were previously arrested, however, due to some medical condition, you were taken to the hospital and treated, and so you are being seen beyond the 24-hour mark. But I am finding extraordinary circumstances based on the need for your medical condition, and so we did place you on our next available calendar once you were brought back to NCSO, okay?
Appreciate that.
You are here for new charges, 1 count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of disorderly conduct involving a weapon, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of discharging a firearm in city limits, a Class 6 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You have a status conference October 2nd at 8:30, a preliminary hearing October 6th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $50,000. In the event you post that bond, you have written conditions of release, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, and you may not possess any weapons. All of that will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions?
Yeah, so my victim is my wife, so that means I can't have any contact with my wife at all?
Let me take a look. So the call was related to, so it started out with a family dispute. So yes, since she is the alleged victim, you will not be able to have contact with her at this time.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
David Flores to the podium. Trevor Enos to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
David Flores, 2/1 of 77.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a new case. It is for 1 count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of possession or use of a weapon in a drug offense, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of narcotic drug possession, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of theft, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of resisting arrest, a Class 6 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You have a status conference October 2nd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing October 6th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $35,000. In the event you post that bond, you do have written conditions of release. You may not possess weapons or alcohol, and you must contact your parole officer within 24 hours of release. All of this will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions?
Only that I have my job that I don't want to lose. Is there any way that I could get a OR or my bond lowered a little bit or something? I do not want to lose my job. I got my daughter. I got full custody of my daughter.
I do understand that. However, I did read the allegations in this case along with your criminal history as well as the state's recommendation. They recommended $50,000. I have set the bond at $35,000, but I am going to leave it at that today, okay, sir? If once you meet with your attorney, if they feel like it's appropriate to make a motion to the court to change it at that time, then they may do so, okay?
Is that a 10% bond or is it a whole?
It is secured, meaning you can use a bail bonding company, which is typically going to be 10% plus collateral.
Okay.
Okay, so take a step to your left. The officer will get you that paperwork.
Thank you.
Trevor Enos to the podium. Jesus Nino to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Thunder Enos. Trevor Enos is my brother, and I've been telling him, and that's what I was released on earlier today. They said to come back and bring some proof that I'm not my brother. And yeah, here I am again.
What did you say your name is?
Thunder Troy Enos. I have my other paperwork from Casa Grande that says my name.
And what's your date of birth?
9991.
Okay. Do you see that the warrants actually are under Troy Enos, under that date of birth? Do we know why it's listed on ISIS as Trevor?
See, I got my paperwork right here. Has my name from Casa Grande.
So I am looking at the warrants. The warrants actually are for Thunder Troy Enos, date of birth September 9th, 1991. I'm not sure why you're booked into our system under Trevor.
Yeah,
but the warrants are for Thunder. Say that again? Okay. Can we contact, okay, yeah, and it says it's same for Prince. So they've already indicated, I just don't understand why they booked him under Trevor when the warrant is for Thunder.
Yeah, I've been telling him over and over who it was. They just say go.
Can we just, even though his booking name is Trevor, can we change his name to Thunder since the warrants are under Thunder?
See, I have to read his paperwork up first, and we have to go from here. I haven't figured it out.
Okay. All right. So take a seat in the gallery, and we're going to take a look into this, and then we'll get back to you, okay? Jesus Nino to the podium. Edward Vara to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Jesus Nino, February 6th, 1993.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a direct complaint that was filed. It has an offense date of November 14th, 2024 for 3 counts of burglary, a Class 3 felony. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you and setting a status conference October 2nd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing October 6th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $12,500. In the event you do post that bond, you have written conditions of release. You may not return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. All of that will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions?
I do. I'm not understanding why I'm being charged with burglary, because I remember the incident, and I was homeless, and I entered a home that was being built.
So before you continue, I hate to interrupt you, but you are being recorded. You don't have your attorney here, and so you have the right to remain silent. Everything you say and discuss about the facts of the case can be used against you by the prosecutor. So any facts that you want to discuss, you may want to wait until you meet with your attorney to discuss those with him,
Yes,
okay? And you'll meet with that attorney on October 2nd, okay?
Okay.
All right, take a step to your left. The officer will get you that paperwork. Good luck,
Thank you.
sir. Edward Vara to the podium. David Ruse to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
My name is Edward Eugene Vara, and I was born 12/26/1998.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on 2 cases. You're here on a grand jury warrant, and that is for an offense date of August 5th, 2023, for 1 count of armed robbery with a deadly weapon, a Class 2 felony, and 1 count of theft means of transportation, a Class 3 felony. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you, and you're going to have an arraignment hearing October 3rd at 8:30 in the morning. In this case, you have a cash bond of $10,000. You're here on a second case. A direct complaint was filed with an offense date of September 20th, 2024 for unlawful means of transportation, a Class 5 felony. I'm appointing an attorney and setting a status conference October 2nd at 8:30, preliminary hearing October 6th at 8:30, and you have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,000. So you do have 3 hearings coming up between the 2 cases. You have a total bond of $11,000. However, one of those bonds is a cash bond of $10,000. In the event those bonds are posted, you have written conditions of release. You may not return to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
Again, with the armed robbery, with the deadly weapon, I believe that was put against me, and then I believe that was dropped because they said that it was not me. That was back in 2023.
So the grand jury indicted you on those charges, and a warrant was issued for your arrest as of March 7th, 2025.
Okay.
But the offense is from 2023, but you were indicted this year on those.
Okay. And then, and they said it was because I did an armed robbery.
That's what the charge is for. Because it's a grand jury warrant, everything is sealed. I don't have access to any of the underlying facts, but that's what the warrant indicates. It's for theft, means of transportation, and armed robbery is what it indicates.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
If you'll step to your left, sir, they'll get you that paperwork.
All right.
David to the podium, Ruth to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
David Rouse, 11076.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on 2 cases. You've got a new case as well as a direct complaint that was filed. Your new case is for 1 count of dangerous drug possession for sale, a Class 2 felony, 2 counts of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of possession or use of a weapon in a drug offense, a Class 4 felony. And probable cause has been found. Your direct complaint has an offense date of October 19th, 2024 for 1 count of disorderly conduct, a Class 6 felony. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you in both cases. You have 2 hearing dates coming up. It does apply to both cases. Status conference October 2nd at 8:30, a preliminary hearing October 6th at 8:30. You have a cash bond of $10,000 on your new charges, a $50 bond on your disorderly conduct charge. In the event those bonds are posted, you will have written conditions of release. You may not possess weapons. You may not possess drugs without a valid prescription. And then you also need to ensure that you attend all of your hearings. If you were to fail to appear at any of them, a warrant would issue and you'd forfeit your bond. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, I don't.
If you'll take a step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. Ruth Garcia to the podium. Dayton Pena to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Ruth Garcia, 42597.
Thank you, ma'am. You are here on a new case. It is for 1 count of criminal damage, a Class 5 felony, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You have a status conference October 2nd at 8:30, a preliminary hearing October 6th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $3,000. In the event that bond is posted, you will have written conditions of release. You may not return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, and you may not possess any weapons. All of this will be in your paperwork, ma'am. Did you have any questions? You have a question?
I am going home.
You have a bond of $3,000. If you post the bond, you'll be released. If you do not post bond, you will remain in custody.
Okay.
Okay, take a step to your left, ma'am. Dayton Pena to the podium. Rico Jackson to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Dayton Pena, August 13th, 2007.
Thank you, sir. You are here on a new case. It is for 1 count of criminal damage, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of reckless driving, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and 1 count of exceeding the posted speed limit by more than 20 miles per hour, a Class 3 misdemeanor. For purposes of today's hearing only, I don't have enough information to find probable cause to the criminal damage or excessive speed, but I am finding probable cause for the reckless driving. That does not mean the other charges are dismissed. They may supplement those, and the county may move forward with charging those. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you and setting a status conference October 2nd at 8:30, a preliminary hearing October 6th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $2,500. In the event you post that bond, you have written conditions of release. You may not initiate contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, and you may not drive a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. All of this will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions?
No.
You can take a step to your left. The officer will get you that paperwork. Rico Jackson to the podium. Al Towns to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Rico Jackson, 51171, man.
Thank you, sir. You are here on a probation violation warrant with allegations that you violated term 1 of your probation. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you and setting a probation revocation hearing October 2nd at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,000. In the event you do post that bond, you have written conditions of release. Those include not possessing weapons or alcohol and contacting your probation officer within 72 hours of release. All of that will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions?
Yes, ma'am. You said I do have a release.
You have a bond of $1,000, and if that bond's posted, you'll be released.
Okay, and you saying that I have a hearing? What type of hearing?
It's a probation revocation hearing, so they'll determine whether or not they're going to revoke your probation on this case. That's set for October 2nd.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. If you'll step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. Mr. Towns to the podium. Devonna to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Al Hakeem Severe Towns, 1778.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on 2 probation cases with allegations that you violated terms 2, 3, and 5 of your probation. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you and setting a probation revocation hearing October 2nd at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500 in each case for a total of $1,000. In the event that bond is posted, you do have written conditions of release. Some of those include not possessing weapons or alcohol and contacting your probation officer within 72 hours of release. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No, I do not.
Thank you, sir. If you step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. Devonna to the podium. Mr. Thompson to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Divana Etaba, 12/15/1996.
Thank you, ma'am. You are here on a failure to appear bench warrant. You have pending drug charges and you failed to appear at a hearing. I'm going to affirm the attorney previously appointed to represent you and set a status conference October 2nd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing October 6th at 8:30. You have a cash bond of $500. In the event you post that bond, you do have written conditions of release. Some of those things include not possessing any drugs without a valid prescription, not driving a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. You also need to ensure you attend all future hearings. If you were to fail to appear again, another warrant would issue and you'd forfeit any bond you posted. Did you have any questions? If you'd take a step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. Mr. Thompson to the podium, Mr. Deviney to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Jake O'Brien Thompson,
And your date of birth?
11/02/1989.
Thank you, sir. You are here on a failure to appear bench warrant that was issued for you related to a pending drug charge, resisting arrest, and refusal to provide your true name. I'm going to affirm the attorney previously appointed to represent you and set a status conference October 2nd at 8:30. In this case, you have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. In the event you post that bond, you have written conditions of release. You may not possess drugs without a valid prescription. You may not drive a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. And then you'll need to ensure that you attend all of your future hearings. If you were to fail to appear again, another warrant would issue and you'd forfeit any bond you posted. All of that will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions?
Yes, I wasn't aware of that. I had court, and I didn't have a key to my mailbox, and I was wondering if there was a way I could get OR. I need to help. I need to find my dog a place to stay, and I need to help my mom. And I will attend to more future court hearings.
I'm just going to take a look at your case. Hold on.
My mom is 60 and she was in a bad car accident, so I was like, I help her.
What I'm going to do is I'll release you on an ankle monitor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This is going to change your hearing dates.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Your hearing dates will now be, well, hearing date, oh no, it didn't change it. It's October 2nd at 8:30, so it actually stayed the same. But you will have an ankle monitor attached before you're released from custody, and you need to make sure that you keep in contact with the pretrial services and attend that hearing, okay, sir? All right, we need to reprint your paperwork. If you'll take a seat in the gallery, they'll bring you that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Deviney to the podium. Deshaun Ogaro to the chair. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Monty Deviney, 12/17/1963.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on two cases. You're here on a new charge as well as a failure to appear bench warrant that was issued. Your new charge is for 1 count of dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony. For purposes of today only, I am not finding probable cause. I don't have enough information today. That does not mean it's dismissed. They still may move forward with that charge once they test the substance. So I'm appointing an attorney and setting a status conference October 10th at 8:30, a preliminary hearing October 14th at 8:30. You do have a second case on the calendar, and it's a failure to appear bench warrant related to pending drug charges. I'm going to affirm the attorney previously appointed to represent you. You will have a status conference October 2nd at 8:30, and October 6th at 8:30. So you do have 4 hearings coming up in the downtown Superior Courthouse. On the case that you failed to appear at the hearing, you do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $250. In the event you do post that bond, you have written conditions of release you need to comply with. It will include not possessing any drugs without a valid prescription. And then, of course, you'll need to ensure that you attend all future hearings. Otherwise, another warrant will issue for your arrest and you'd forfeit any bond you posted. Did you have any questions, sir?
No.
If you'll take a step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork.
Pardon me?
If you take a step to your left, the officer will get you your paperwork.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Deshawn to the podium. Carolyn to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Yes, Your Honor. This is Deshaun O'Garrel, 05-1593.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a new case.
Yes.
It is for 1 count of burglary, a Class 4 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference October 10th at 8:30, a preliminary hearing on October 14th at 8:30.
Okay.
I'm going to release you to the supervision of pretrial services.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
have written conditions of release.
Yes,
You
Your
may
Honor.
not return to the scene of any alleged crime.
Yes,
No
Your Honor.
contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness.
Yes, Your
You're also
Honor.
going to get an envelope with your paperwork. You need to read those instructions and contact pretrial services once you've been released, and then ensure you attend all of your hearings. If you were to fail to appear, a warrant would issue, and then you'd be held on bond at your next hearing.
Of course.
Any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so take a step to your left. The officer will get you that paperwork. Carolyn to the podium. May I get your name and date of birth?
Carolyn Hanson, April 16th, 1987.
Thank you, ma'am. It does look like you are here on a warrant from the Santan Justice Court. It does relate to an offense date of October 20th, 2023 for 2 counts of DUI, both misdemeanor charges. I am going to appoint an attorney to represent you and set an arraignment hearing October 14th at 9 a.m. That'll take place in the Santan Justice Court. I am going to release you today on your own recognizance. That is your promise to appear at that hearing. You have written conditions of release. You may not possess drugs without a valid prescription, and you may not drive a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. All of this will be in your paperwork, ma'am. Did you have any questions?
I don't. Thank
Okay,
you
if you'll
so
take a
much.
step to your left, they'll give you your paperwork. And it'll be just one moment before I call the last party. Well, the last couple of parties. All right, can I have Thunder to the podium? All right, sir, can I get your name and date of birth again?
Thunder Enos 9991.
Thank you, sir. Can we update his date of birth? I don't know if that prints on there. Oh, okay. All right, so I did have her call back. These warrants are for Thunder Enos, date of birth March 9th, 1991, and they double-checked and your prints do match them, which, as you've indicated, you are Thunder Enos. So let's talk about the 2 warrants that have been issued for you.
Okay.
You have one out of Pima County and one out of Pinal County. The Pima County warrant, let's take a look at that one first. That one says that you failed to appear at a hearing related to an underlying charge of dangerous drugs. In that case, I'm going to appoint an attorney. You're going to have an arraignment hearing in Pima County, October 1st at 8:30. And then Pinal County, that warrant, let's take a look at that one. That one says it's a pre-adjudication warrant related to 1 count of kidnapping, a Class 2 felony, 1 count of aggravated assault, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of assault, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and 1 count of disorderly conduct, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I'm going to appoint counsel in that case as well and set a hearing October 1st at 8:30 in Pinal. Pinal has set a bond in the amount of $10,000. Pima has set a bond of $2,500. They're both secured. So you have a total bond of $12,500 between the 2 cases. In the event you do post those bonds, you have written conditions of release. You may not return to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. If you don't post bonds, you'll remain in custody and they will transport you to those hearings. Did you have any questions?
As far as since they identified who I was, I don't have to come back for this, for my brothers, because they just told me to come back and have proof that it wasn't me. And that's what
Are you saying you were previously arrested earlier on something for your brother?
Yeah, that's why they brought me here. That's because of the whole...
So I don't have anything for your brother. I just have the 2 warrants for Thunder. So if you have paperwork for Trevor, ask the officers what you're supposed to do with that.
No, like, they told me to come back here and have proof that I'm not my brother. And you guys just proven it today, right now. So...
I'm not sure I understand what you're saying. I have 2 warrants in front of me that says they have been issued for Thunder Enos, and that your fingerprints match those warrants. And so you have bonds on those 2 warrants. If you're telling me you were also seen by a different judge for something else, I don't have the answers to those questions.
Trevor Enos, to clear down name that my name wasn't Trevor Enos.
Yeah, so I've updated your name for these 2 warrants to Thunder Enos, and that's for Pima and Pinal County.
So how do I take care of that? Like, I believe it's this one. This is your responsibility to beware of all future, let's see. I don't know, this is all confusing.
Was he seen by a different judge, officer? Do you know?
Yeah.
Do you know if he was seen by a different judge?
That was at 2 o'clock.
If you seen him get at 1400, I wouldn't know because I was giving the second call.
Okay.
Oh, here.
Your door card doesn't tell you all their hearings?
So the door card that we have has his brother's information on it.
Okay.
Trevor Enos.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like I see something for the University Lakes Justice Court related to a drug paraphernalia charge for Trevor Enos. And it looks like a hearing date was given to you for October 14th. If that's the case you're talking about, you need to go talk to the University Lakes Justice Court about that. That should have a hearing date of October 14th, and that location is on 201 East Chicago Street. Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah.
Okay. You need to go to that hearing and discuss with that court that you're not Trevor. But in the meantime, Thunder also has 2 warrants, and you need to take care of those, and you're going to be in custody on the warrants that are for you. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Take a step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork.
We'll get you through the process of that.
Is everybody out? All right. Can I have Mr. Martinez to the podium? Let me get your name and date of birth.
Jesus Martinez, 11/30/85.
Thank you, sir. You are here on a new case. It is for 1 count of aggravated luring minor for a sexual exploitation, a Class 2 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You will have a status conference October 2nd at 8:30, a preliminary hearing October 6th at 8:30, both in the downtown Superior Courthouse. You have a cash bond in the amount of $50,000. In the event that bond is posted, you will be released to the supervision of pretrial services, and you will be equipped with electronic monitoring. You have written conditions of release. You may not return to the scene of the alleged crime. You may not have contact with any minors, and you are prohibited from accessing the internet through any electronic means. All of this will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions?
Does that mean I have to pay the full 50,000?
Yes, sir.
Is there any way we can make it a secured bond and an ankle monitor?
So I am placing an ankle monitor. I'm not inclined to make it a secured appearance bond. The state is requesting a cash bond of $150,000. I've set it at $50,000, but I'm not willing to make that a secured bond today, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. If you'll step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. The remaining case will proceed as a house call due to being unable to function, a danger to self or others. Jasmine Leonard, date of birth December 7th, 1989, is here on 3 cases. She has 2 warrants from Goodyear Municipal Court, and then she's also here on a failure to appear bench warrant from Maricopa County Superior Court. The Maricopa County Superior Court warrant relates to an unlawful flight from a law enforcement vehicle. I'm affirming the attorney previously appointed and setting a status conference October 2nd at 8:30, a preliminary hearing October 6th at 8:30, setting a cash bond of $250. She has an extreme DUI warrant from Goodyear Municipal Court in which she failed to pay some fines. And then she has an assault charge from Peoria, and it's a pre-adjudication warrant with an offense date of February 20th, 2025. There are 3 counts of assault in that case. I am going to appoint an attorney in both of these cases and set an arraignment hearing in the Goodyear Municipal Court on October 1st at 8:30. I'm setting a secured appearance bond in the amount of $50 in each of those cases. That's a total bond of $350. In the event bond is posted, she does have written conditions of release. She may not possess drugs without a valid prescription, and she may not drive a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. If anything changes after I meet with her, I will update the written record. This does conclude our 2 a.m. calendar, and we will now stand in recess until 5 a.m.
when I look up both, land policy, he has a whole different booking numbers, and he's a whole different person, with different birthdays and everything. And then officer is completely different too. Like the, Lance Austin's a one person, and then Austin Mullen is a whole complete other person, way older. Yeah, so it's just two small. Is there any way you guys figure for him? Because the booking number that you guys put down, it brings up one board in 1997. And then Lance Austin. So on the page 2, you have the booking number G185002, and then I got the booking number as well as you got. But when I put that in, it brings up some. Yeah. So. Yeah, they click the first stage. Like, can I see the alias? That's the booking name, but on the each sheet has the first name of the actual name Thompson, which is the whole different like booking name. Yeah, so his birthday was like 323. And then the actual Austin guy that Judge Archer was page 2, he's born in 1987. Yeah, so the whole page 2 is based on the actual response split. So that guy's name sounds like it's like the actual guy that's not an alien. His information got just find out this page 2 with the guy. Because that, so then you kind of look like that's the first thing for 97. And if I look at the assumption, like there's an actual guy with that name with that word. That's not an alien, it's an actual word. Is there any way to express it? I won't be able to use my page because it's connected with someone else with that birthday, like look their information with the 20. Is there any way to like get it? Like are you guys able to figure out which of it or? So are you guys trying to submit it under the Austin guy or the actual Austin? Yeah, okay, I'll just wait until I leave, because then I'll send it to you for now. I won't be able to enter until later, if that's okay? Okay.
Oh, really? 7 or 6? 7 on Thursday.
Oh, like a department,
What? That's what?
okay. I'll just hold off from entering. Yeah, I'll just wait a bit if that's okay. Okay, sorry, I know what you guys really think I did it. I'm sure I'll just hold off on this. Thank you so much, I appreciate you. Have a good morning, thanks again. free. She's on her way.
Okay, okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. You may be seated. Good morning. This is the time set for the 5 a.m. initial appearance calendar on September 26, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar. I'll call you each one at a time to the podium. I'll provide a second name to sit in the chair outside of this room. I will let you know what you are here for, if I have appointed an attorney, if you have a bond, and what your release conditions are. We are going to start with Mr. Hernandez to the podium and Mr. Courtney to the chair.
Courtney.
Let me get your name and date of birth.
Rodolfo Hernandez,
And your date of birth.
42874.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on 3 cases. Your first one is a new case. The other one are your probation cases. Your new charges are for 1 count of narcotic drug possession for sale, 1 count of dangerous drug possession for sale, both Class 2 felonies, 1 count of narcotic drug possession for use, 1 count of dangerous drug possession for use, both Class 4 felonies, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. Your probation cases, because you're on probation and you were picked up for a new offense, it is a Term 1 violation. I am finding probable cause and appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference and a probation revocation hearing on October 2nd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on October 6th at 8:30. On your new charges, you have a cash bond of $50,000. However, on your probation cases, you are being held non-bondable. So even if you were to post bond, you would not be released until at least you have your probation revocation hearing on October 2nd at 8:30. All of that will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions? If you'll take a step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. Mr. Courtney to the podium. A call to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Ted Courtney, 09/19/1994.
Thank you, sir. You are here on a new case. It is for 1 count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of criminal trespass, a Class 3 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You are going to have a status conference October 2nd at 8:30, an evidentiary hearing October 3rd at 1:30, and a preliminary hearing October 6th at 8:30. In this case, at the time of your offense, you were out on felony release for another case that you have pending, and because you were out on felony release, you're not eligible for bond today. The hearing set on October 3rd at 1:30 is the time set to determine if bond will be set on your new charges. All of that will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions? If you'll step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. A call to the podium and James to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
We'll call Asifal, 1992, May 29.
What month were you born?
May.
Okay, May. Thank you, sir. It does look like you're here on 2 cases. You're here on new charges as well as your probation case. Your new charges are for 1 count of kidnapping, a Class 2 felony, 1 count of armed robbery, a Class 2 felony, and 1 count of aggravated assault, a Class 2 felony, or excuse me, a Class 4 felony. Your probation case, you're here on a Term 1 violation because you were picked up on a new offense. I am finding probable cause and appointing an attorney to represent you. You will have a status conference along with a probation revocation hearing on October 2nd at 8:30. You have a preliminary hearing October 6th at 8:30.
Okay.
In your new charges, you have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $50,000. However, you are being held non-bondable on your probation case, so even if you were to post bond, you would not be released until you at least have your probation revocation hearing on October 2nd and find out what happens there. All of that will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions?
Yes, is there any way that I can get a speedy trial?
So you are entitled to that, and I have appointed an attorney to represent you, and you will meet with that attorney on October 2nd, and you can discuss how that will go moving forward.
Right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. James Nathaniel to the podium. Ms. Blackman to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
James Nathaniel, 12/1/95.
Thank you, sir. You are here on a new case. It is for 4 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, a Class 3 felony, 4 counts of discharging a firearm at a non-resident, Class 3 felony, and 4 counts of discharging a firearm in city limits, a Class 6 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You have a status conference October 2nd at 8:30, a preliminary hearing October 6th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $100,000. In the event you post that bond, you have written conditions of release. You may not return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, and you may not possess any weapons. All of this will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions?
What was the bond again?
You have a secured appearance bond of $100,000.
So that has to be paid before I can be released?
Yes, sir. If you don't post bond, you'll remain in custody and they'll transport you to those hearings. If you do post bond, you'll be released from custody. You need to follow your release conditions, and then you'll also need to ensure you attend all of your hearings. If you were to fail to appear, a warrant would issue and you would forfeit that bond you posted.
How would I post this bond if I'm unable to pay it?
If you're unable to post the bond, you'll stay in custody.
Are there any financial, aids to help me in paying this bond? This is my first time ever dealing with it.
I'm not aware of any financial aids that would help you post a bond. You would have to post that on your own or contact a bail bonding company. But again, you would have to sign a contract with them and comply with whatever their terms and conditions are.
Okay.
Okay, if you'll take a step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. Ms. Blackman to the podium. Mr. Milton to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Tamona Blackman, 4/30/77.
Thank you, ma'am. It does look like you are here on a new case. It is for 1 count of assault and 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, a Class 3 felony. For purposes of today, I'm only finding probable cause for the aggravated assault charge. I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference October 2nd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing October 6th at 8:30.
Okay, I don't have bond money.
You have a secured appearance bond in this case in the amount of $50,000. In the event you post that bond, you will have written conditions of release. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, and you may not possess any weapons. If you don't post bond, you will remain in custody and they will transport you to those hearings. Did you have any questions?
No.
Okay, just
Can I go to the bathroom?
Excuse me?
The restroom.
You
I
need
had
to
to
use
go-
the restroom?
Yeah.
Okay, let the officers know and they can coordinate that. Mr. Milton to the podium and Mr. Chase to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Yes, Christopher Milton, 07/04/1994.
Thank you, sir. You are here on a new case. It is for 1 count of aggravated assault, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of disorderly conduct, a Class 1 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You have a status conference October 2nd at 8:30, a preliminary hearing October 6th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $40,000. In the event you post that bond, you will be released to the supervision of pretrial services and equipped with an electronic monitor. You also have written conditions of release. You may not return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, and you may not possess any weapons. All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
Yes, so does that mean I can be released or?
If you post the bond of $40,000, you'll be released. If you don't post the bond, then you will remain in custody.
40,000, okay.
All right?
All right,
You'll
thank
step
you.
to your left, they'll give you that paperwork. Mr. Chase to the podium, Mr. Garcia to the chair.
Good morning, Your Honor.
May I get your name and date of birth?
Joseph Chase,
And your date of birth?
12/19/1979.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on 2 cases. You're here on a new case as well as your probation case. Your new charges are for 1 count of burglary, a Class 3 felony, 1 count of theft, a Class 3 felony, and 1 count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 5 felony. On your probation case, because you are on probation and you were picked up for a new offense, it is a Term 1 violation. I am finding probable cause and appointing an attorney to represent you. You have a status conference along with a probation revocation hearing October 2nd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing October 6th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond of $20,000 on the new charges and $2,500 on the probation case. In the event you post that bond, you will have written conditions of release. You may not return to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You may not possess weapons or alcohol, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
If you'll step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. Mr. Garcia to the podium, Mr. Bradbury to the chair.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Can I get your name and date of birth?
Cesar Garcia, 7891.
Thank you, sir. You are here on a new case. It is for 1 count of theft means of transportation, a Class 3 felony, 1 count of narcotic drug possession, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You have a status conference October 2nd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing October 6th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $10,000. In the event you post that bond, you have written conditions of release. You're not to return to the scene of any alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, and you may not possess any weapons. All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
Yes, ma'am. So, being that it's $10,000, it's secured, it'd be $2,500, and then the rest in collateral. Is that correct?
Well, 10% would be $1,000 plus.
Oh, I'm sorry, $1,000.
Yes.
And the rest in collateral?
I mean, typically that's what it is. You have to contact the bail bonding companies and see what their terms and conditions are, but that's usually the standard.
So, $1,000 in collateral. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Bradbury to the podium. Mr. Begay to the chair. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Christopher Bradbury, 1494.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on 2 cases. It looks like you failed to appear at your hearings. It looks like you're on probation in both. It looks like maybe you're on probation in 1 case. And then you failed to appear on a hearing that has a pending charge for aggravated DUI and drug charges. I'm going to affirm the attorneys that were previously appointed to represent you. You're going to have a hearing on October 2nd at 8:30. That applies to both cases. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,800 in each case for a total of $3,600.
Each case?
Each case, so it's a total of $3,600. In the event you post that bond, you have written conditions of release. You may not possess weapons or alcohol. You must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. You also need to ensure that you attend all of your future hearings. If you were to fail to appear again, another warrant would issue, and you'd forfeit any bond you posted. Did you have any questions?
Oh, ma'am.
Okay, just step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. Mr. Begay to the podium. Mr. Owen to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Brendan Begay, 7/14/95.
Thank you, sir. You are here on 2 cases. You're here on a new case as well as your probation case. Your new case is for 1 count of dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of criminal trespass, a Class 3 misdemeanor. Because you were on probation at the time of this offense, it is a Term 1 violation. I'm finding probable cause and appointing an attorney to represent you. You have a status conference and a probation revocation hearing on October 2nd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing October 6th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond of $2,500 in your probation case and $50 on your new charges. In the event you post that bond, you have written conditions of release. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, and you must contact your probation officer within 24 hours of release. All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions, sir?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork. Mr. Owen to the podium, Mr. Bostic to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Zachary Owen, February 15, 2006.
Thank you, sir. You are here on a failure to appear bench warrant. It relates to a pending theft of credit card and fraudulent use of a credit card charge. I'm going to affirm the attorney previously appointed to represent you and set a status conference October 2nd at 8:30. You do have a cash bond in the amount of $2,000. In the event you post that bond, you will have written conditions of release you'll need to comply with. It does include not possessing any weapons or alcohol. You'll also need to ensure you attend all of your future hearings. If you were to fail to appear, another warrant would issue and you'd forfeit that bond. It does look like you were previously seen by this court on September 23rd. If you're still being held on those cases, then those were, I think, non-bondable cases. So if you're still being held, posting this bond wouldn't get you released on those cases until you have your hearing, okay? Do you have any questions?
So I contacted pretrial service, and they said I didn't have nothing for the credit card thing. I had got released, and I contacted them, and they said I didn't have nothing built up on me.
So it looks like you were in custody on those credit card charges August 6th of 2025. You were given a bond of $1,000 and a hearing to attend on August 12th. And then, let's see what happened on August 12th. Looks like you attended that hearing and you pled guilty to those charges, and they set it for sentencing on September 2nd. You failed to appear at the sentencing case. And as a result of that, this warrant issued. Okay, if you'll step to your left, the officer will give you that paperwork. Mr. Bostic to the podium, Mr. Johnson to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
James DeVilla Bostic, October 29th, 1970.
Thank you, sir. You are here on a new case. Two counts of burglary, a class 4 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You have a status conference October 2nd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing October 6th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,500. In the event you do post that bond, you have written conditions of release. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, and you may not possess any weapons. All of this will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, we need to reprint this case. If you'll sit in the gallery, we'll bring that out to you.
Need to what?
Marquette Johnson to the podium and Juanita to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Marquette Johnson, July 27th, 1995.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here on a warrant from the Highland Justice Court. It does look like it has an offense date of October 12th, 2024 for exceeding the posted speed limit by more than 20 miles per hour and failing to appear at a hearing on May 8th, 2025. Due to the nature of your charges, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel. You're going to have an arraignment hearing in the Highland Justice Court on October 16th at 9 a.m. I'm going to release you today on your own recognizance. That is your promise to appear at that hearing. You do have written conditions of release. You may not possess any drugs without a valid prescription, and you may not drive a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
They gave me a court class for a different charge, like a anger management class. And is there a way that I can like I have to drive to get there?
Say the question again.
There's no way I could drive to get to my.
Do you have a valid driver's license?
I mean, I have one, but I think they suspended it because it is this court.
Then you cannot, if you don't have a valid driver's license, you cannot drive yourself there. You will have to find an alternative way to get there.
All right, yes.
Okay. All right. Take a step to your left, and they'll give you that paperwork.
All right, thank you.
Juanita to the podium. May I get your name and date of birth?
Juanita Ricotta, 12/14/88.
Thank you, ma'am. It does look like you are here on a warrant. It looks like it has an offense date of October 9th, 2013.
Yeah, I totally, like, forgot about it. I moved out of state, and I was in Pennsylvania for, like, 6 years, and I barely moved back a couple years back.
So it looks like this has been pending since December of 2013. It is for reckless driving and exceeding 85 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Due to the nature of your charges, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel. You're going to have an arraignment hearing October 14th, 2025 at 9 a.m. in the North Valley Justice Court.
Okay.
I'm going to release you today on your own recognizance. That is your promise to appear at that hearing. You do have written conditions of release. You're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription, and you may not drive a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license.
Okay.
All of that would be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
Nope.
Okay, so take a step to your left. The officer will get you that paperwork.
Okay.
And then we're just going to work on getting an interpreter for that next case. Good morning. Do I have a Spanish interpreter on the line?
Good morning, yes. Hi, my name is Valeria. I'm the interpreter.
Thank you, ma'am. I have one matter on the calendar. Are you ready to begin?
Yes, I'll be more than glad to assist you.
Thank you. Can I have Mr. Martinez to the podium, please?
Por favor, ¿puede venir el señor Martínez al podio, por favor?
Good morning, sir. I do have a Spanish interpreter on the line. I do ask that you wait for her to translate before responding.
Buenos días, señor. Hay un intérprete en español en la línea. Por favor, sí le pido de que usted espere a que ella haga la traducción antes de responder.
May I please get your name and date of birth?
¿Me podría dar, por favor, su nombre y su fecha de nacimiento?
Armando Marín Martínez, 22 de junio de 1998.
Yes, my name is Armando Marín Martínez, and my date of birth is June 22nd of 1998.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a new case.
Gracias, señor. Usted está aquí en un nuevo caso.
It is for one count of aggravated assault, a Class 4 felony.
Sí, sería para un caso, ¿verdad?, de asalto agravado, que es pues una felonía de tipo 4.
And one count of assault, a Class 1 misdemeanor.
Y pues un tipo de asalto, ¿verdad?, un cargo en asalto por un tipo de mala conducta de clase 1.
Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you.
La causa probable ya ha sido encontrada y le voy a apuntar a un abogado para que lo represente.
You will have a hearing on October 2nd and October 6th at 8:30 in the morning.
Usted va a tener una audiencia el octubre 2 y en octubre 6 a las 8:30 de la mañana.
You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $40,000.
Usted tiene lo que es una a pagar, ¿verdad?, una fianza, ¿verdad?, de $40,000.
In the event you post that bond, you will be released to the supervision of pretrial services and equipped with electronic monitoring.
En el caso de que usted pues pague esa fianza, ¿verdad?, usted saldrá, ¿verdad?, con la supervisión de los servicios de prejuicio y se le va a equipar con un equipo electrónico de monitoreo.
You also have written conditions of release to include not returning to the scene of the crime.
También usted tiene por aquí por escrito, ¿verdad?, de que si a un caso usted, si sale de acá,
usted no puede retornar o no puede regresar a la escena del crimen.
You may not contact the victim or possess any weapons.
Usted no puede contactar a la víctima o poseer algún tipo de arma.
All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
Todo esto va a estar en los documentos. ¿Tiene alguna pregunta?
Pues sí, no supe muy bien de qué se me acusa.
Well, yes, I didn't understand quite well what I'm being accused for.
The allegations are that you assaulted your girlfriend by impeding her breathing.
Sí, se le está acusando, la alegación es de que usted, agredió a su novia impidiendo que ella pudiera respirar.
Okay.
If you will step to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork.
Si usted pasa a la izquierda, el oficial le va a dar todos sus documentos.
Gracias.
This does conclude our only Spanish matter this morning. I do appreciate your assistance. Feel free to disconnect at your convenience.
Interpreter here, thank you so much for contacting us today.
The two remaining cases will proceed as house calls due to being unable to function, a danger to self or others. Case number 5, Nicholas Liggins, date of birth October 29th, 1997, is here on a new case for 1 count of criminal damage, a Class 2 misdemeanor. Due to the nature of his charges, he is not entitled to court-appointed counsel. I am finding probable cause and setting an arraignment hearing in the Peoria Municipal Court on October 14th at 9 a.m. I am releasing him on his own recognizance that is promised to appear. He will have written conditions of release to include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any complainants or witnesses. All of this will be in his paperwork. Number 13, Juan Barajas, date of birth January 21st, 1983, is here on a probation violation warrant with allegations that he violated terms 3, 5, and 7. I'm appointing an attorney and setting a probation revocation hearing on October 2nd at 8:30. He has a secured appearance bond in the amount of $250. In the event bond is posted, he has written conditions of release. It does include not possessing weapons or alcohol and contacting his probation officer within 72 hours of release. All of this information will be in his paperwork. If anything changes after I meet with these parties, I will update the written record. This does conclude our 5 a.m. calendar, and we will now stand in recess until 8 a.m.
What, who? And mom? No. It's just probation. She has them at the top. It's at the commissioner's discretion, so she has it at the top. Oh, did I called the wrong person, huh? Did you make? All right. Good morning. Am I too soon? No, you're good. Okay. I'm actually home from school.
You may be seated. Good morning. This is the time set for the 8 a.m. initial appearance calendar for September 26, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of fingerprints and DNA samples made on the first of this month will apply to all matters on this calendar. I am Commissioner Dyer, and before we get started, there are a few things that I'm going to explain to you. First, I'm going to call each of you up to the podium one by one. I will ask you for your first and last name and your date of birth. I will then tell you why you are here today. I will also let you know whether or not an attorney has been appointed to represent you. Then I will let you know what your upcoming court dates will be. Then I will advise you to what your bond will be if you are eligible for bond. And then lastly, what your release conditions are. Some of you may have some questions while I'm providing this advisement. I just ask that you not interrupt me, allow me to complete the advisement. At the end of the advisement, you will be permitted to ask your questions. I'm also cautioning you to keep your questions directed towards your release conditions. This is a recorded proceeding. Anything that you say here could be used against you. So any questions regarding your case should be directed towards your attorney. The first person that I'm going to call to the podium is Faison Phillips, and then Kyle Brocklebank. If you'll please have a seat in the chair by the door.
Hello, Your Honor.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good. Can you please state your first, last name, and your date of birth?
First name is Faison Phillips. Date of birth is 8/29/93.
Good morning. You are here today on a new case. You were charged with 1 count of trafficking stolen property in the first degree, a Class 2 felony, and 1 count of theft or control of property, a Class 6 felony. I did find probable cause as to both charges, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You have a status conference hearing on October 2nd at 8:30. You have a preliminary hearing on October 6th at 8:30. Because you were on felony release at the time that these alleged offenses occurred, you're not eligible for bond today under Arizona law. So I did have to schedule an evidentiary hearing for you for October 3rd at 1:30. This takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about this morning. If you do not have any questions for me, if you'll please talk to your lawyer.
Do you have a bond?
You're not eligible for bond
All right.
under Arizona law.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Mr. Brocklebank, if you'll please come to the podium, and Kevin Clark, will you please have a seat in the chair by the door? Good morning, sir. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Kyle Brocklebank, 10/27/99.
Thank you. You are here today because you have 2 probation violation warrants. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in both matters. You will have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on October 2nd at 8:30. Your first warrant had a secured appearance bond in the amount of $250. Your second warrant indicated that you, due to the nature of the violation of probation, you're not eligible for bond today, as if there is a reasonable likelihood that you may be facing a period of incarceration per the rule that was cited in the warrant. So I would caution you against attempting to post bond. It will not secure your release as you are being held not bondable in your second matter. All these issues will be addressed at your hearing on October 2nd at 8:30. This takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about today. If you have no questions for me, if you'll please step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Kevin Clark, will you please come to the podium? And Michael Suarez, if you'll please have a seat in the chair by the door.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Kevin Clark, 6/17/99.
You are here today because you have 1 new case and then you have a probation violation. On your new case, you were charged with 1 count of unlawful flight from law enforcement, a Class 1, Unlawful flight from law enforcement, a Class 5 felony, 1 count of driving with a license that has been suspended, revoked, or canceled, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and 1 count of resisting arrest through passive resistance, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause as to all 3 counts, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter. You do have a secured appearance bond. I'm so sorry. I'm going to start over.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did appoint an attorney to represent you.
Mm-hmm.
You have a status conference hearing on October 2nd at 8:30.
Yes.
You have a preliminary hearing on October 6th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $7,500. As to your probation violation, I appointed an attorney to represent you in that matter.
Okay.
You do have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on October 2nd at 8:30. Due to the nature of your violation, which is the new charge and the allegations of that, that would render you not bondable today. It's a reasonable likelihood that you may be facing a period of incarceration on the probation violation matter.
Okay.
So I caution you against attempting to post bond at this time, as
Okay.
it will not secure your release. The issues of your probation will be addressed on October 2nd, and then see what's going on there and see if you will be bondable.
Okay, so October 22nd, I find out.
October 2nd.
October 2nd.
So that is next Thursday.
So, okay.
So that takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about today. If you have no questions for me, if you'll please step to your left, officer will give you your paperwork.
So I will be released today? That's all I have.
You're not going to be released because you're not bondable on your probation violation matter.
So like you said, till October 2nd, I'm stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Michael Suelas, if you'll please come to the podium, and Manuel Barella, if you'll please have a seat in a chair by the door. Hello, sir. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Michael Cuevas, January 9th, 1996.
You are here today because you have one new case and then you have a probation violation. On your new case, you were charged with 1 count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of reckless driving, a Class 2 misdemeanor, 1 count of driving with an open container of liquor in a vehicle, a Class 2 misdemeanor, and 1 count of exceeding the posted speed limit by 20 miles per hour or more, a Class 3 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause as to all of the charges. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You do have a status conference hearing on October 2nd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on October 6th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $25,000. As to your probation violation, I did appoint an attorney to represent you in that matter. You do have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on October 2nd at 8:30. Due to the nature of the violation of probation, you are not bondable today. And I will just explain to you, because I'm sure that you will have some questions. The reason why you are on probation is you know what the offense is, drive-by shooting. And then your contact with law enforcement resulted in you being charged with possession of a weapon by a prohibited person. And one of the terms of your probation, I believe, strictly indicates that you are not to possess any weapons due to the nature of the charge, but also because you have been convicted as a felony offender, and so by statute, you're not to possess a weapon. So it is the belief that I have that on your probation violation, just due to the nature of the violation of probation, that there may be a period of incarceration, and that is why you're not bondable on your violation of probation matter. So I would caution you against attempting to post bond on your new case. It will not secure your release. You should wait until after you have your hearing on October 2nd to see what happens there.
That's what, so if I do post bond, am I able to go home today?
That's what I just said, that posting bond will not secure your release because you are being held not bondable in another matter.
All right.
So you should wait until after your hearing on October 2nd to see what will happen on your probation matter.
All right.
Okay? So that takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about today. If you have no questions for me, if you'll please step to your left, officer will give you your paperwork. Mr. Barella, can you please come to the podium? And Jason Sly, if you'll please have a seat in the chair by the door.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Can you please state your first and last name?
Manuel Barella, 92496.
You are here today on a new case. You were charged with 1 count of possession of narcotic drugs for sale, a Class 2 felony, 1 count of possession of narcotic drugs for use, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of possession of a weapon during a drug offense, a Class 4 felony. I did find probable cause as to all 3 counts, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter. You do have a status conference hearing on October 2nd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on October 6th at 8:30. You have a cash-only appearance bond in the amount of $25,000. If you are able to post bond, you'll be released to pretrial services on electronic monitoring, and you cannot possess any weapons. Failure to comply with your release conditions or failing to appear for your court date would result in the loss of any bond that you post. A warrant would issue for your arrest, and additional bond could be imposed. It looks like you have some questions for me.
Yeah, so I won't be released today?
Not unless you post bond.
Post bond?
Mm-hmm.
And it's 2,500?
No, 25,000.
25,000? The whole 25,000?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Sly, will you please come to the podium? And Manal Ajabori, if you'll please have a seat in the chair by the door. Sir, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Jason Sly, 5/15/1978.
You were here today on a new case. You were charged with 1 count of stalking causing fear of death, a Class 5 felony, 1 count of aggravated harassment by violating order of protection, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of interfering with judicial proceedings, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause as to all the charges. I will note the date of the alleged offenses is September 12th of 2025. You will have a status conference hearing on October 2nd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on October 6th at 8:30. You have a cash-only appearance bond in the amount of $50,000. If you're able to post bond, you'll be released to pretrial services on electronic monitoring. You cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime. You cannot initiate any contact with the alleged victim, and you cannot possess any weapons. I know that there is an order of protection that you must comply with, I believe, or it's an injunction against harassment. Either of those orders, if they've been issued or are subsequently issued, you must comply with the terms of those orders. I will make a record that the court did impose the bond and release conditions given the ongoing nature of according to the probable cause statement, there is an ongoing violation of the order of protection that has been issued. The court is very concerned about the safety of the alleged victim. The court is very concerned about the alleged information that the defendant is unable to comply with the order of protection despite being aware that there is an order of protection and that he is not to have any contact or come near the victim. Per the probable cause statement, the defendant continues to do so. So in the interest of the safety of the victim and the community, the court finds that the release conditions that, as they were set forth, were necessary to ensure the safety of both the victim and the community at this time. Mr. Sly, this takes care of everything that I needed to advise you of today. I'm sorry, if you fail to comply with your release conditions or you fail to appear for your court dates, that would result in the loss of any bond that is posted. A warrant would issue for your arrest and additional bond could be imposed. If you have no questions for me, if you'll please step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork. Ms. Al-Jabori, if you'll please come to the podium, and Daniel Little, if you'll please have a seat in the chair by the door. Morning, ma'am. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Manal Martinez Al-Jabori, 10/23/1988.
You are here today on 2 matters. You have 1 new case, and then you have a violation of probation. As to your new case, you were charged with 1 count of burglary in the 2nd degree, a Class 3 felony, 1 count of theft or control of property, a Class 3 felony, 1 count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 5 felony. I did find probable cause as to all 3 counts, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You do have a status conference hearing on October 2nd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on October 6th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $15,000. If you are able to post bond, you cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime, you cannot initiate any contact with the alleged victim, and you cannot possess any weapons. And you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of your release. As to your probation violation, I appointed an attorney to represent you in that matter. You do have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on October 2nd at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. So between your 2 cases, your total secured appearance bond is $15,500. If you are able to post bond, you must comply with all of your release conditions and appear for all of your court dates. Failure to do so would result in the loss of any bond that you post. Warrants would issue for your arrest, and additional bond would be imposed. This takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about today. If you have no questions for me, if you'll please step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
Your Honor.
Mr. Little, will you please come to the podium, and Mr. Tapkin, if you'll please have a seat in the chair by the door.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Daniel Burl Little, 12/15/1978.
Sir, you were here today because you have 2 direct complaints, 1 direct complaint that was filed and 2 probation violations. two probation violation warrants. I will talk to you first about your direct complaint. You were charged with 1 count of criminal damage, a Class 5 felony, alleged to have occurred on February 17th of 2025. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in that matter. You do have a status conference hearing on October 2nd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on October 6th at 8:30. Your direct complaint had a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,000. As to your 2 probation violation matters, I appointed an attorney to represent you in both of those matters. You will have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on October 2nd at 8:30. One of your warrants has a secured appearance bond in the amount of $100. The other warrant has a secured appearance bond in the amount of $250. Your total bond between the 3 cases is $1,350. If you are able to post bond, you must comply with all of your release conditions and you must appear for all of your court dates. Failure to do so would result in the loss of any bond that you post. A warrant would issue for your arrest, and additional bond could be imposed. This takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about this morning. If you have no questions for me, feel free to step to your left. The officer will give you your paperwork. Thank you.
Honor.
Mr. Tapkin, will you please come to the podium, and Mr. Matari Faison, if you will please have a seat in the chair by the door. John Tapkin. John Tapkin.
Yes. You guys would give me a court paper?
Yep, are you done? Mr. Tapkin, can you face me? Mr. Tapkin? Mr. Tapkin? Over there.
Look at her.
Are you able to hear okay?
Excuse me?
Are you able to hear okay?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure because I've been talking to you for a few minutes and you seem to not hear me. So if you can't hear, let me know. You can hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, can you tell me your first and last name?
John, Jon.
Okay.
Tapken, Tapken.
Okay. Can you tell me your date of birth?
9/5/1961.
Okay. You were here today on a new case. You were charged with 1 count of assault with intent to injure, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and 1 count of disorderly conduct involving fighting, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You will have an arraignment hearing on October 1st at 1 p.m. You have a cash-only appearance bond in the amount of $1,000. If you are able to post bond, you cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime, and you cannot initiate any contact with the alleged victim, and you cannot possess any weapons. If there are any orders of protection or orders against harassment that are issued, you have to comply with those orders. You cannot live at the same residence as the alleged victim. You will be permitted one civil standby with local law enforcement to assist you in collecting your essential belongings. If you violate the no victim contact order in this case, you could be charged with aggravated harassment, which is a Class 6 felony. Failure to comply with your release conditions or failing to appear for your court date would result in the loss of any bond that you post. A warrant will issue for your arrest, and an additional bond could be imposed. This takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about. If you have no questions for me, if you'll please step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork. Okay, so we're done. There's nothing more. So if you'll please step to your left. Officers?
Yes, sir. This way.
Excuse me?
This way. This way.
I'm going out there.
Yeah, you're gonna sit out there. In the back back rows, okay?
This is my paper.
Yeah, come on. That's your papers. Go out there, please.
Mr. Faison, will you please come to the podium? And Mr. Ricardo Montalava, if you'll please have a seat in the chair by the door. Sir, can you please say your first and last name and your date of birth?
Tari Faison,
And your date of birth?
3576.
You are here today because you have a warrant out of White Tank Justice Court. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter. You'll have an arraignment hearing on October 1st at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $250. If you are able to post bond, you must appear for your court date. Failure to appear for your court date will result in the loss of any bond that you post, and another warrant will issue for your arrest. I will let you know, Mr. Faison, that your warrant had actually recommended a bond in the amount of $627, and this warrant was issued on March 24th of 2021. So you have a secured appearance bond. This will hopefully make the bond what I ordered. It is my hope that it has made the bond more manageable and that you will go to court and you will take care of this issue, since it has been pending since the date of your offense was October 15th, 2018, and there's never been a disposition on it. That's what the warrant says. So you just need to take care of this. And the fact that you haven't is the reason why I'm imposing a bond. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions for me?
Is that secured bond mean?
It's secured appearance. That means that your secured appearance bond is 10% of $250, so it's $25 plus collateral.
Okay. Thank you.
So if there's no other questions, if you'll step to your last officer, we'll give you your paperwork. Mr. Montalava, if you'll please have it come to the podium, and Mr. Jacob Martin, if you'll please have a seat in the chair by the door. So, sir, will you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Ricardo Montalvo, 72674.
You are here today because you have a probation violation warrant. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter. You will have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on October 2nd at 8:30. Your warrant had a secured appearance bond in the amount of $250. If you are able to post bond, you must appear for your court date. If you fail to appear for your court date, that would result in the loss of the bond that you post. Another warrant would issue for your arrest, and additional bond could be imposed. This takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about this morning. If you have no questions for me, if you'll please step to your left officer, we'll give you your paperwork. Thank you. Mr. Martin, if you'll please come to the podium, and Levi Adams, if you'll please have a seat in the chair by the door. Good morning, Mr. Martin. Can you please state your first and last name and date of birth for me?
Jacob Martin, 32886.
Thank you. You are here today because a direct complaint was filed where you were charged with 1 count of possession of a dangerous drug, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. The date of the alleged offense is June 24th, 2025. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter. You do have a status conference hearing on October 2nd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on October 6th at 8:30. The direct complaint had a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. If you are able to post bond, you do need to contact your probation officer within 72 hours of your release. Failure to comply with your release conditions or failing to appear for your court date would result in the loss of any bond that you post. Another warrant would issue for your arrest, and additional bond could be imposed. So this takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about this morning. If you have no questions for me, if you'll step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Adams, will you please come to the podium? And Jasmine Nolan, if you'll please have a seat in the chair by the door.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
My name is Levi Adams, 12/10/1978.
You are here today on 2 matters. You have a new case, and then you have a warrant out of Santan Justice Court. We'll first talk about the new case. You were charged with 1 count of burglary in the 3rd degree, unlawful entry, a Class 4 felony. I did find probable cause, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter.
Okay.
You do have a status conference hearing on October 2nd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on October 6th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $2,500.
Okay.
As to your warrant out of Santan Justice Court, I did appoint an attorney to represent you in that matter. You will have an arraignment hearing on October 1st at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. If you are able to post bond, so first your total bond between the two cases is $3,000 secured appearance. If you're able to post bond, you cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime. You cannot initiate any contact with the alleged victim. Failure to comply with your release conditions or failing to appear for your court dates would result in the loss of any bond that you post. A warrant would issue for your arrest. An additional bond could be imposed. So this takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about this morning. If you have no questions for me, feel free to...
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, if you'll step to your left, officer will give you your paperwork. Ms. Nolan, will you please come to the podium? And Michael Nolan, will you please have a seat in the chair by the door? Good morning, ma'am. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Jasmine Nolan, May 9th, 1998.
You were here today on a new case. You were charged with 1 count of disorderly conduct involving fighting, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause as to that offense, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you. Oh, I'm sorry. I did not. Due to the nature of the charge, you are not entitled to court-appointed counsel. You do have an arraignment hearing on October 14th at 9 a.m. I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance today, but you do have to promise to appear for your court date. Do you promise to appear for your court date?
I promise.
You have the following release conditions. You cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime. You cannot initiate any contact with the alleged victims, and you cannot possess any weapons. Failure to comply with your release conditions or failing to appear for your court date would result in a warrant issuing for your arrest, and a bond would be imposed. This takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about today. If you have no questions for me, feel please step to your left. Officer will give you your paperwork. Mr. Nolan, will you please come to the podium? Sir, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Michael Nolan, Senior, 12/17/74.
You are here today on a new case. You were charged with 1 count of disorderly conduct involving fighting, a Class 1 misdemeanor. Due to the nature of the charge, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel. You do have an arraignment hearing on October 14th at 9 a.m. I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance. You do have to promise to appear for your court date. Do you promise to appear for your court date?
I promise.
You do have the following release conditions. You cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime. You cannot initiate any contact with the alleged victim, and you cannot possess any weapons. Failure to comply with your release conditions or failing to appear for your court date would result in a warrant issuing for your arrest, and a bond would be imposed. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so this takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about this morning. If you have no questions for me, so please step to your left. The officer will give you your paperwork. Mr. Yellowhair, will you please come to the podium? And Mr. Gerardo Sanchez, if you'll please have a seat in the chair by the door. Good morning, sir. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
No, was he Cody O'Hare, 11395?
You were here today because a direct complaint was filed where you were charged with 1 count of possession of a narcotic drug, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. The date of these alleged offenses is May 14th, 2024. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter. You will have a status conference hearing on October 10th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on October 14th at 8:30. I'm inclined to release you to pretrial services, which means that you will be released back into the community, but your release will be supervised by pretrial services. You do have to promise to appear for your court dates. Do you promise to appear for your court dates?
Yes.
You have the following release conditions. I'm highlighting that you cannot have any contact, that you cannot possess any weapons. Failure to comply with your release conditions or failing to appear for your court dates would result in a warrant issuing for your arrest, and then a bond would be imposed. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, this takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about. If you'll step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork. Thank you. Mr. Sanchez, will you please come to the podium? And Dalton Rivas, will you please have a seat in the chair by the door? Good morning, sir. Will you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Gerardo Galas Sanchez, 9/1983.
You are here today on a new case. You were charged with 1 count of possession of a narcotic drug, a Class 4 felony. I did find probable cause as to that offense, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You will have a status conference hearing on October 10th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on October 14th at 8:30. I am inclined to release you to pretrial services, which means that you will be released back into the community, but your release would be supervised by pretrial services. You do have to promise to appear for your court dates. Do you promise to appear for your court dates?
Yes.
Please be advised that if you fail to comply with your release conditions or you fail to appear for your court dates, a warrant would issue for your arrest and a bond would be imposed. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so this takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about. You step to your left, officer will give you your paperwork. Dalton Rivas, will you please come to the podium? And Leroy Milliman, if you'll please have a seat and a chair by the door. Good morning, sir. Can you please say your first and last name and your date of birth?
Dalton Rivas, 013-2000.
You are here this morning on a new case. You were charged with 1 count of possession of a dangerous drug, a class 4 felony. I did find probable cause as to that offense, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You do have a status conference hearing on October 10th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on October 14th at 8:30. I am inclined to release you to pretrial services, which means that you will be released back into the community, but your release will be supervised by pretrial services. You do have to promise to appear for your court dates. Do you promise to appear?
Yes, ma'am.
Please be advised that you have the following release conditions. The one that I'm highlighting is that you cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime. Failure to comply with your release conditions or failing to appear for your court dates would result in a warrant issuing for your arrest, and a bond would then be imposed. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about today. If you have no questions for me, if you'll step to your left, officer will give you your paperwork. Thank you.
So I'm getting released?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mr. Billiman, Leroy Billiman, if you'll please come to the podium. Back that way. Hello, sir. Can you tell me your first and last name and your date of birth?
Leroy Billman, 08/24/1977.
You are here today on a new case. You are charged with 1 count of resisting arrest, a class 6 felony, 1 count of obstruction by refusing to give your true name, a class 2 misdemeanor, and 1 count of criminal trespass, a class 3 misdemeanor. I do find probable cause as to all 3 charges, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You have a status conference hearing on October 10th at 8:30. You have a preliminary hearing on October 14th at 8:30. I am inclined to release you to pretrial services, which means that I will release you into the community, but your release will be supervised by pretrial services. You do have to promise to appear for your court dates. Do you promise to appear for your court dates?
I promise.
One of your release conditions that I'm highlighting for you is that you cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime. If you fail to comply with your release conditions or you fail to appear for your court dates, a warrant will issue for your arrest and a bond will be imposed. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So I believe that this takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about. If you have no questions for me, if you'll step to your left, officer will give you your paperwork.
Okay.
Officer? Yes. We do have to clear. Ma'am, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Doretha Sample, 11/22/75.
You are here today on a new case. You were charged with 1 count of aggravated assault, domestic violence, impeding breathing, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of disorderly conduct involving fighting, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause as to both counts, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter. You do have a status conference hearing on October 2nd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on October 6th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $25,000. If you're able to post bond, you can initiate any contact with the alleged victim. You cannot possess any weapons. I do have a special condition that supervised contact with the victim would be permitted through DCS or a family court order. Failure to comply with your release conditions or failing to appear for your court date would result in the loss of any bond that you post. A warrant would issue for your arrest and additional bond could be imposed. This takes care of everything that I needed to talk to you about. If you have no questions for me, if you'll please step to your left officer, we'll give you your paperwork.
I have, about the bond, can I post my own bond?
So the officers will give you the information on how to go about posting the bond. Moving on to the house calls, Andrew North, date of birth, November 12th, 1978. Mr. North is here on a new case. He's not able to be physically present in court due to the inability to follow orders. He was charged with 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs, 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, and 1 count of criminal trespass, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I did not find probable cause as to the possession of dangerous drugs or drug paraphernalia. I did find probable cause as to the criminal trespass. I did appoint an attorney to Mr. North. He will have a status conference hearing on October 10th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on October 14th at 8:30. I will be releasing him to pretrial services with the following release conditions: cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime and he cannot possess any weapons. Mr. North will be advised that if he fails to comply with release conditions or appear for his court date, that a warrant would issue for his arrest and bond could be imposed. I will meet with Mr. North. If any changes are needed, I will do so either on the record or in writing. John Goings, date of birth, April 7th, 1984, is here on a new case. He's not physically present in court due to concerns of self-harm. He was charged with 1 count of aggravated assault, a Class 3 felony, 1 count of disorderly conduct, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of criminal trespass, a Class 3 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause as to all 3 charges, and I did appoint an attorney to represent him. He will have a status conference hearing on October 2nd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on October 6th at 8:30. He will have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $50,000. If he's able to post bond, he'll be released to pretrial services on electronic monitoring, where he cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime, initiate any contact with alleged victims, or possess any weapons. Mr. Goings will be advised that if he fails to comply with his release conditions or appear to his court dates, that he will lose the bond that he posted. A warrant would issue for his arrest and additional bond could be imposed. I will meet with Mr. Goings. If any changes are needed, I will do so either on the record or in writing. Mr. Richard McKiernan, date of birth, November 15th, 1977, is here on a new case. He is not physically present in court today due to concerns of self-harm. He was charged with 1 count of possession of a dangerous drug, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. I did not find probable cause as to either charge. I did appoint an attorney to represent him. He will have a status conference hearing on October 10th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on October 14th at 8:30. Mr. Mackerman will be advised that while the court could not find probable cause today, that he must appear for his court date on October 10th, as a direct complaint could be filed at that time, and if he fails to appear, a warrant would issue for his arrest. I will meet with Mr. McKiernan. If any changes are needed, I will do so either on the record or in writing. Okay, I'm so sorry. Mr. Sines, will you please come to the courtroom? Hello, sir. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Salvador Sainz, July 13, 2001.
You are here today on a new case. You were charged with 1 count of assault with intent to injure, a Class 1 misdemeanor, 1 count of failing to stop or and attend a vehicle after an accident, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and 1 count of preventing or interfering with the use of a telephone in an emergency, a Class 2 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause as to all counts, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You will have an arraignment hearing on October 1st at 8:30. You have a cash-only appearance bond in the amount of $2,500. If you are able to post bond, you cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime, you cannot initiate any contact with the alleged victims, and you cannot possess any weapons. You cannot possess, if there are any orders of protection or orders against harassment that are issued, you must comply with those orders. You cannot reside at the same location as the alleged victim. You are permitted 1 civil standby with local law enforcement to assist you in achieving your essential belongings. And you are cautioned that if you violate the no victim contact order, you could be charged with aggravated harassment, which is a Class 6 felony. Failure to comply with your release conditions or failing to appear for your court date would result in any bond that you post. A warrant would issue for your arrest and additional bond would be imposed. You have a question?
Your Honor, Miss, they're okay with me going back. They all did surveys saying that they want me back in the house. They're okay with me. That we are okay. My family has been calling me saying that they want me back. We're good. It was just a incident that was blown out of proportion, Miss.
Mr. Sines, while the court did not receive a victim impact statement, so what you may be saying is true. But that's not, I don't just consider what your family is saying. I'm looking at what occurred, and I will tell you what I considered and why I'm concerned about the safety of everybody. That according to the probable cause statement, you hit your girlfriend so hard that her nose was bloodied. Then your mother comes out to try to break up the fight, and you get aggressive with your mom. Then she starts yelling for help. Your brother tries to call for help. You take the phone from him and you throw the phone away. Then you run away. You hit a car as you're trying to leave, and you speed off. So while your family might say that they're okay and that they want you back in the home, I don't think it's safe for you to be back in the home right now. I don't know what would ever happen to make somebody get that enraged that all of those violent acts occur at the same time. It does not appear to me that is a misunderstanding, because according to the probable cause statement, that there's also a prior history of domestic violence. This time you got charged. So for me, I believe that a bond is appropriate to ensure the safety of not only the people in your home, but also people in the community, since it just seems like you have, from what I read and what I found, probable cause just means that is there enough information for me to believe that the allegations are true? Yes, there is. And based on that belief, your actions, it appears that you have not a lot of high regard for others.
Your Honor, Miss, they're the only people that can bail me out. I can't contact them to bail me out. They're willing to help me out, Miss. They're not. I promise you, it's not nothing. I have too much to lose at this point. I'm not trying to start issues. We were not trying to have an issue to begin with. I will talk about that later.
Yeah, you should not talk any further about your case. I have appointed an attorney to represent you. So anything that you want to talk about regarding your case, that should be saved for your attorney. The deputies will tell you how to go about getting bond posted. But the order is that you cannot reside with them.
I cannot reside? Can I reach out to them at least?
You cannot have any contact. Right now, the way that your resistance to my court order right now, because that's what I'm perceiving it.
No, Miss, no.
But I'm telling you, I'm letting you know what the perception is. I have told you 3 times that you're not to have any contact with the victim. I've told you twice that you cannot reside with the victims, and you still keep trying to work around that. So that leads me to believe that you will not follow this court order.
I will, Miss.
With that being said, I don't believe we have anything more to talk about. If you'll please step to your left, officer will give you your paperwork. Thank you. This concludes the 8 a.m. initial appearance calendar. We stand in recess until 11 a.m.
All right. Okay, thank you. Please be seated. Sorry for the tardiness. Many things happening today. All right, and we do have one LEP, right? And so can the interpreter hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Okay, good morning. Sorry to keep you waiting. Kept having little fires pop up. All right, we are good to go, though. If you want to grab the Spanish speaker and get him up here, officer, that would be great. All right, this is the 11 a.m. Oh, are we doing simultaneous? Yes. Oh, I love that. It's my first time. Okay. All right. And so is the interpreter ready?
Yes, ma'am. I'm ready.
Excellent. All right. This is the 11 a.m. initial appearance calendar for September 26th, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of fingerprints and DNA samples made on the 2 a.m. calendar on the first of the month will also apply to these hearings. All right, sir, may I please have your full name and your date of birth?
Uriel Antonio Pillado Soto.
Uriel Antonio Pillado Soto.
21 de enero del 93.
January 21, 1993.
Thank you. You have been arrested on new allegations. Those are possession of dangerous drugs for purposes of sale and transportation of dangerous drugs for purposes of sale. Those are felonies. And sir, I've actually just noticed something in your case. Sometimes this happens between the time that I prepare my docket and when I come and I'm speaking individually to defendants. And what I have realized, and I'm going to have the county attorney, if you'll appear, ma'am, this has to do with the nature of the charge selected. Can you hear me?
I can hear the court fine.
Right, she might not actually be there. The prosecutor is logged in to the video meeting, but, oh, there she is, okay.
I am here, Your Honor.
Hello, so first will you say your name for the record since we're going to talk about this?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Dawn Sauer on behalf of the state.
Thank you. And this is one where I did not get a recommendation from your office. Is that because, as far as you know, this would be an attorney general prosecuted case?
Your Honor, I'm not sure if it would be an attorney general case or not. I did not submit a recommendation because of the nature of the drugs. It didn't seem to match the charge.
Literally what I was having you log in about. All right, and certainly the state is not categorically required to notify the court when they notice those things. The court is always appreciative when the state does. I know Mr. Van Dorn and Ms. Dahl are among the people who will notify the court. I believe Ms. Gaunt does as well. You're not obligated. I'm not mad. I'm just saying certainly the court appreciates if a court officer such as yourself notices something like that, that a heads up is always appreciated. So I take it that you would not be asking on behalf of the state for this defendant to be held for that error to be corrected.
The state is not asking for the defendant to be held, and I apologize for not bringing that to your attention, Your Honor.
It's fine. Like I said, I don't believe that it's difficult to say you have an affirmative obligation to do that before the hearing. It's something that is appreciated, and certainly the court believes as well within your ethical bounds that it's not unethical for you to do that. In any event, so Mr. Pillado Soto, here's what I have realized as I was reading you the allegations. That is that the police booked you, they arrested you under the wrong statute for the type of drugs that they have alleged. In Arizona, unlike in some other jurisdictions, the types of drugs that are made illegal are separated into different categories. And I have never been aware of why. I don't know that there is a good reason why, but that is the law. Under our law, certain drugs are called dangerous drugs, other drugs are called narcotic drugs, and they are not the same crime. So the police allege that you had fentanyl, which is a narcotic drug under Arizona law, but they did not book you for that. They arrested you for possessing a dangerous drug, which fentanyl is not. That is the kind of mistake the court does not fix for the police. I am unable to do that. What that means is you're entitled to be released today because of this mistake. Your case is going forward, meaning I'm going to give you a lawyer and I'm going to give you a couple of court dates, but then you are ordered released. This is a favorable outcome for you today because I was contemplating a rather significant bond for you before I realized that they booked you incorrectly for the wrong kind of drug. So the state is not asking to be given time to correct that. There would be a little bit of time to do so if the police wanted to, but this is the police's mistake. We don't correct it. So I'm going to give you a lawyer and a court date, and then I'm going to order that you be released. So give me one moment to type that, okay? And I see it looks like the booking agency may have been some federal police, and they don't realize that distinction, because in federal law, there is not a distinction between the types of drugs. I don't know, does that make sense to you, Mr. Piatto? Do you have questions about what's happening? Don't print it yet.
No, ninguna pregunta.
No, I don't have any questions.
All right, I'm going to put a phone number on your paperwork, and I would recommend that you call it a few days before your next hearing to verify that you still have a hearing date. I always do that in these situations where I am not finding probable cause for purposes of this hearing, but the person's case is still, the allegations are pending against them. But when there's no probable cause, you're just entitled to be released. Just give me a moment. I'm having trouble finding the number. Okay. All right, that is ready to go. We're going to get that printed, Mr. Piatto, and you will get your paperwork. It will have your next court dates on it. Those are going to be October 10th at 8:30 in the morning, and the preliminary hearing is scheduled for October 14th at 8:30 in the morning. The address in downtown Phoenix is on your paperwork. Now, this kind of mistake can be corrected by the prosecutors when and if they decide to file the formal charges between now and your next court date. So that's why the case is not dismissed. The prosecutors can fix this error. The court will not do that for them. And so if you are charged and you are not there on October 10th at 8:30 in the morning, there will be a warrant issued for your arrest. Do you understand?
Okay.
All right, and
Yes.
I am appointing a lawyer for you, so when you get there on the 10th, you'll be able to meet with a public defender to discuss your case. You do not have any other conditions of release because I did not find probable cause as booked. So it's on your paperwork. If you'll take that with you, you can step out to your left. Thank you. And thank you, Counsel Sauer. If you want to disconnect or, mute yourself again, that's great. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, and just so Ms. Sauer knows, we are gonna move number 27 to the 2 p.m. as requested.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, and let me ask and through the interpreter, I apologize. Will you make a general call, please?
Yes. Buenos días, soy el intérprete. ¿Hay alguien más en la sala que no habla inglés y necesita intérprete? Si es así, levante la mano ahora, por favor.
Okay, looks like we have no hands. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, and then, so Officers Hunter Beasley is a juvenile. Are we doing that how are we doing that? Okay, great. Let's go ahead and get him up here. Right here, sir. All right. Sir, can I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Hunter Roy Beasley, 10-10-07.
Okay, thanks. Mr. Beasley, you're here because the grand jury has indicted you on an additional criminal case. Those charges are third-degree burglary, a Class 4 felony, misconduct involving weapons, a Class 4 felony, theft, a Class 6 felony, and unlawful discharge of a firearm in city limits, that's a Class 6 felony. The alleged offense date for all of these is July 10th of 2025, and it looks like this comes out of the Peoria Police Department. But you will get a copy of the charges and police reports through your lawyer. I am appointing a lawyer for you. As far as I know, that is someone at the Maricopa County Public Defender's Office, but this should go to the lawyer that you have for your other open cases. In this case, you need to go be arraigned. That's going to be October 3rd at 8:30 in the morning, which is 1 week from today. Then you're going to have a bail hearing that afternoon, October 3rd at 1:30 p.m. That's the evidentiary hearing. I think you've been through it before, the whole scenario, but in essence, you're not bailable today in this case because there is probable cause for new felonies committed after you were released or while you were on release in it's in the grand jury indictment. I'm sorry, the warrant. CR 2025-006645. So that case was open and pending on July 10th of 2025 when this allegedly happened. So I must hold you without bail at this hearing and give you a bail hearing. Have you been through this before on a different case? Okay, same scenario. So in the morning you'll be arraigned. 1 week from today, the 3rd, and then in the afternoon you'll have that bail eligibility hearing. All right, everything's going to be on your paperwork. If you please step to your left, the officer's going to give you a copy. Thank you. All right, Ms. Benally, Cecilia Benally. To that, Brandy Van Buren, we go to the chair. Right here, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Can I have your full name and your date of birth, please? What's your name, ma'am? What's your name? All right, I see from the photograph here that you do appear to be Cecilia Benally. You do match the booking photograph that I have for you, and pretrial services did not indicate that you had any inability to communicate. So this court presumes that you are choosing not to be intelligible at this time. You do appear to understand what's going on. So I find for purposes of this hearing, you are Cecilia Benally, and the information I have is that you were born September 4th, 2006. Would you like to correct any misunderstanding I may have? All right, I just note for purposes of any written record that you did shake your head. All right, ma'am, you have been arrested on armed robbery allegations. That's a Class 2 felony. Also obstruction of justice by the refusal to provide a true name. That's a Class 2 misdemeanor. There is probable cause for both of those crimes. I am appointing a lawyer to represent you in this case. Your next court date is a status conference, October 2nd at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. Your preliminary hearing will be October 6th at 8:30 in the same court. Based on what's been alleged against you, bail is set in your case at $25,000 secured. The state recommended $50,000. The court is not setting that in this case because it was in the context of a shoplifting allegation. That being said, it absolutely meets the elements of armed robbery. There is probable cause for armed robbery. But with your relative lack of felony history, you have a significant arrest history starting in March of this year and going fairly consistently up until now, including some felony allegations. The court believes you are dangerous in the community, and so I'm not releasing you on anything less than $25,000 secured appearance bond. If you post that bond, you may not go to the scene of the alleged crime. That was the Fry's at 7th Avenue and Camelback. You may not go there. No contact with any of its employees or any witnesses or the victim in this case. No weapons, no drugs, no alcohol. A switchblade is very much a weapon. If they can prove that's what it was, it's also a prohibited weapon. Everything's going to be on your paperwork. Please step to your left and she'll give you your copy. Ms. Van Buren, Brandy Van Buren. I need Brandy Van Buren, please. After that, Andrew Johnston. We go to the chair. Good morning, ma'am. Can I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Brandy Michelle Van Buren, 12/18/90.
Okay, thanks. You're here on a new case. You were arrested for possessing narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony, and false reporting to law enforcement. That's a Class 1 misdemeanor. There is probable cause for all of those, and I am appointing a lawyer for you. Your next court date will be a status conference October 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. That's this coming Thursday, with a preliminary hearing on Monday, October 6th at 8:30. The court address in downtown Phoenix is on your paperwork. Now, in this case, you will have a $2,500 secured appearance bond and written release conditions. But as you are probably aware, you also have a DOC hold here at the jail. So if you were to post this bond, which you are legally entitled to do, DOC is going to get a call and they'll have 24 hours to pick you up. That's up to them. If they don't, and you actually hit the street and comply with your release conditions, one of them is call your parole officer within 24 hours. We never know, and it's not relevant to us, what DOC actually does when they place these holds. But just know that if you post a bond and then you go into DOC custody and you never hit the street, my understanding, the bail bondsman will not refund your money. And you can end up ping-ponging back and forth between the two jurisdictions. So I usually recommend people speak to their lawyer before they decide whether it's worth it to try to post bail. And you will see your lawyer on Thursday. Everything's on your paperwork along with additional standard types of conditions. If you step to your left, she'll give you a copy of that. Thank you. Mr. Johnson, Andrew Johnston, and then Brianna Johnson. We go to the chair. Hello, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Hello, my name's Andrew Milton Johnston.
Were you born 11/24/88?
Yes, I was.
All right, thanks. You're here on 3 bench warrants for failing to appear in 3 open felony cases. In number 18 on the calendar, the charge is dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony. In number 19 on the calendar, it is that charge plus a charge of drug paraphernalia, possession, Class 6 felony. Finally, in number 20 on the calendar, it's both of those charges plus a false reporting to law enforcement charge, which is a Class 1 misdemeanor. You've already had a lawyer appointed for all 3 cases, and I believe these failure to appear warrants came out of the same hearing on July 14th of 2025. You failed to appear at what was a status conference for all 3 cases. So you still have a lawyer, and we're going to set a status conference for you for October 2nd, which is this coming Thursday at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court, and your preliminary hearing will now be set for Monday, October 6th at 8:30. In each of these 3 cases, your bond is $1,000. It is secured for $3,000 total. If you post it, be sure to comply with all of your written conditions. Do not miss your court date. If you step to your left, she's going to give you your paperwork. Thank you. Thank you. Ms. Johnson, Brianna Johnson, and then Roger Herman. Will you go to the chair? Mr. Herman will be next. Good morning. May I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Brianna Danielle Johnson, 10/13/1996.
All right, thanks. You're here on a probation warrant. You're on probation for a Class 6 felony. There was a petition to revoke your probation filed on August 25th. It alleges that you violated terms 3 and 5. You'll get a copy of it from your lawyer, and I am appointing a lawyer for you in probation court. Your next court date there, oops, apologies. Can we reprint this one, please? I didn't manage to hit the lawyer button because this is a newly filed petition. I do need to reappoint or appoint the public defender for this petition. All right. You'll get a copy of that from the public defender at your next court hearing, which is going to be October 2nd. That's this Thursday at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown probation court. You probably know where that is. I'm going to affirm the probation judge's bond for you, which is $1,000 secured. If you post it, comply with all of your written conditions, and call your PO within 72 hours. We just need to get that reprinted so it's clear that I did appoint the public defender for you, and we will send it out to you if you step out to your left. Thank you. Or Mr. Herman? And then I need Lee Jackson. Where is Roger Herman? There he is. Okay. And after that, it'll be Lee Jackson. All right, and if you just keep him like to the side, I'll be able to hear him, and he can see me. Okay, good, that's good. All right.
No, that's fine.
All right, Mr. Herman, can I
Yes.
have your full name and your date of birth, please?
My full name is Roger Dean Herman, 51062.
All right, thank you. You're arrested on one allegation of disobeying a court order, which is also known as interfering with judicial proceedings. That's a Class 1 misdemeanor. There is probable cause for it, and I am appointing a lawyer for you. Your next court date will be an arraignment hearing October 1st, which I believe is this Wednesday. Yes, this coming Wednesday, approximately 5 days from now, 8:30 in the morning. That will be in the Arrowhead Justice Court. The address is on your paperwork. Bond in this case is set at $1,000. It is secured. If you post it, you must comply with all of your written release conditions, which include no going to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, no weapons, no drugs, no alcohol, and you must obey any order of protection that may have been served on you. Everything will be on your paperwork. If you please move to your left, she'll give you your paperwork. Thank you. All right, Mr. Jackson, you can come in, please. After that, Austin Molyneux, will you please go to the chair? Hello, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Lee Carl Jackson, 1992, November 5th.
All right, thanks. You are here on 2 probation violation warrants. You are on probation in 2 separate felony cases, and on May 9th of this year, there were petitions to revoke your probation filed in both cases. Those petitions allege that you violated terms 3 and 5. You'll get copies of them from your lawyer. I am appointing a lawyer for you in probation court. Your next court date there will be the same for both cases. It is this coming Thursday, October 2nd, at 8:30 in the morning. That's a revocation arraignment and possible disposition hearing. I am affirming the bond set by the probation judge in each of your cases. It's $1,000 secured in the older case, that's the 2023 case, $250 secured in the newer case, the 2025 case. So that's $1,250 total. If you bond out, comply with all of your conditions, call your PO within 72 hours of bonding out. If you step to your left, you get a copy of your paperwork. Mr. Molyneux, and then Christopher DeKnight. Will you please go to the chair? Hello, sir. May I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Austin Rodamone, 8/10/97.
All right, thank you. You're here on 1 arrest warrant and 1 probation violation warrant. On the arrest warrant, this is a newly filed case. You've been charged in a criminal complaint with possession of both dangerous and narcotic drugs. Each of those is a Class 4 felony. Possession of drug paraphernalia, which is a Class 6 felony. The alleged offense date is June 10th of this year, and this comes from the Glendale Police Department. Well, you will get a copy of the charges and police reports from your lawyer. I am appointing a lawyer for you. You're going to have 2 court dates in this case. I think your probation one will have the same court date, so I'll read them all together. So you're also here on a probation warrant because you are on probation for a Class 6 felony. And actually, this is what we call a Term 1 hold, which means there was not a warrant out for you. This is probation officially notifying the court and you that they will be filing a petition to revoke your probation based on the new charges. That is their policy. So you have to go to probation court. A petition will be filed between now and your next court date, and then you'll get a copy from your lawyer. I am appointing a lawyer for you in probation court. So your next court date is the same for both cases. It's October 2nd, which is this Thursday at 8:30 in the morning. In the new case, it'll be a status conference. In the probation case, it will be what's called a revocation arraignment hearing. Then, in the new case only, you need a preliminary hearing, and we're scheduling that for Monday, October 6th at 8:30 in the morning. That's going to be on your paper, all the dates and the court address. So, in the arrest warrant case, I am affirming the $1,000 secured appearance bond. In the probation case, no, I'm sorry, I'm not affirming it, I'm setting it. And then in the probation case, I'm setting what's called a placeholder bond. It's $50 secured. It's meant to give you credit for time in custody on a new petition if you need it. So there's going to be a big order in your paperwork that says you're not to be released until you're done with your current term, because you're already serving a term till, I want to say, October 13th or so. And so I've got a couple big all caps orders for MCSO to say, you're not to be released in that case until your current confinement order expires. And so at that point, you will have been to court. You and your lawyer can have a better idea of what's going on. But in the meantime, if you ever were to end up revoked or something for this, you're eligible for credit on this new term 1 allegation starting today. So it's very procedurally complicated. Your lawyer should understand, and I did put a big note in there. My point is, don't even try to post this $50 between now and your current release date, because they're not going to let you out. And so talk to your lawyer about that, and you got plenty of time to do that. You're going to be back in court next week, okay? Everything's on your paperwork. If you step to your left, I'll give you a copy. Thank you. Mr. DeKnight, Christopher DeKnight. After that, Brielle Spencer Leach. Please go to the chair. Hello, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Christopher DeKnight.
11/18/83.
Okay, thank you. You're here on a warrant in a pending case. It looks like you've been charged with dangerous drug possession, a class 4 felony. And on June 13th of this year, there was a status conference. You weren't there, and a warrant was issued for your arrest. So I'm going to give you new court dates. You still have a lawyer appointed. Your next court date is going to be a status conference October 2nd. That's this Thursday at 8:30 in the morning, with a preliminary hearing Monday, October 6th at 8:30. I am affirming the bond in your case. It is $500 secured. If you post it, you must comply with all of your conditions. What's your question?
I was wondering, if I have like $100 on my books right now, can I pay $50 of it?
You have to go through a bail bondsman. You theoretically could, but you have to pay a bail bondsman. You're going to have to post the entirety of the bond. You have already forfeited a bond in this case in the past, so I am in no way going to lower your bond. You've already forfeited a bond. So this court believes bond is very much indicated in your case, so you'll have to post it.
So like, okay, so if I were to go through a bail bondsman and stuff like that, I can pay this.
Slow down, if you what?
If I can go through a bail bondsman and pay the 10%, and then they can do the rest of it?
Right, you have to call them though, and they'll tell you what they want in order to do that in terms
how
of
would I
fees
do that?
and collateral. From the phones, if you're, there's phones here and they collect calls. You'll also have phones wherever it is you might be classified and sent after this building. People don't stay right here. So you'll have access to a phone, and they do collect calls. And we've got lists, the DOs have lists of
bail bondsmen?
Yeah, talk to them after court. If you step to your left, she'll give you your paperwork.
And then also like, because like, I also am going through CBI, and I have a job, and I have cats, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do with them.
You're going to have to post bond, sir. This is from June, and so the court is not going to let you out on any other basis than the bond that the downtown judge ordered. I didn't raise it, but I'm not lowering it.
Okay, and then also, what day is my next court date?
It's Thursday. It's the 2nd. So is that 5 days from now? 6 days. Anyway, it is Thursday, October 2nd. Today is Friday, so 6 days from now.
And then when I go to there, does that mean that my bond is lifted?
No, if that court orders it. So when you get there, talk to your lawyer.
Okay.
And just say, I want to get out today. Can you help me with that? And they will help you to the extent they are able.
Okay.
If you step to your left, she'll give you paperwork. All right, Ms. Spencer Leach, will you come to the podium? And then Derek Joplin, will you go to the chair? Right here, ma'am. All right, good morning, ma'am. Can I have your full name and date of birth, please?
Brielle Spencer Leach, January 27th, 2004.
Okay, I think we have your name probably misspelled. Spell your first name for me, and I'll at least try to get our paperwork sorted.
B as in boy, R-I-Y-A-E.
Okay, so I'm going to correct that on my paperwork. Just so you know, we are on an old system that does not send data downtown. So when you get downtown, or where are you going, West Mesa? Oh yeah, you're going to West Mesa Justice Court. Our computer definitely does not talk to there. So when you get to West Mesa, talk to the clerk of court there about how do you get that corrected, because it looks like they charged you under the wrong name. They put an L in the middle of your first name. So I can't fix that in West Mesa Justice Court. So when you get there, I just caution people, don't think you just fixed it with me, because our data won't go over there. So fix it when you get there. But they charged you, they just added an L. So, alrighty, you have been charged in that court with driving under the influence of alcohol, alleged 3 of the 4 possible ways that are misdemeanors, and that is, while impaired to the slightest degree, blood alcohol 0.08 or more, and blood alcohol between 0.15 and 0.20. There's one more, and that's 0.20 or above, but they did not charge you with that. All of those are class 1 misdemeanors. The last one is being underage. It's going to say minor, but meaning being under 21 with driving with any alcohol in your body, and they're listing that as a class 1 misdemeanor. I think it might be a class 2, but you'll get a copy of the charges when you get there. I'm not appointing a lawyer for you because you don't financially qualify. So you can either go to the West Mesa Justice Court, meet directly with the prosecutor, get your discovery, get whatever offer they're making you, etc., or you can hire a lawyer and bring that person with you. Your next court date is going to be October 14th at 8:30 in the morning. So that gives you about 2.5 weeks to try to hire a lawyer if you want to, or you can go show up on your own and see what they might be offering you. As I tell some defendants in your situation, because I don't think you have much criminal history, you can go down, meet with the prosecutor, get the offer, get the discovery, think about it, and then most of the courts would give you at least 1 continuance to go try to hire a lawyer. I call that playing the float. You can go down there and see what they're offering you, see if you want to do it. But if you want legal counsel, bring them with you. Or, like I said, I would think the justice of the peace would give you 1 continuance if you said, I got to go try to hire a lawyer. So I just let people know, but you're entitled to hire a lawyer today if you want in this. So, all right, I am releasing you because it's not a new case. And it looks like it's an initial arrest warrant, which means they charged you in a formal complaint and didn't have an address for you, and it looks like they tried to send a summons. They may or may not have been able to establish that they served it on you. I can't tell, so I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. That's why I'm releasing you, and because this is all the way back in April of 2023. So, and you weren't arrested doing anything like this today. So go to court, comply with your release conditions. Don't drive without a valid license, no drinking. You're off of drinking while this case is pending. And that's just standard, but also people who drink and drive really do make other people dead with their cars. And so if there was a victim, I check the victim box in these cases because I don't know if there was a collision. If there was a collision, that's who we're talking about because they can get restitution from you. If there was no collision, even alleged, then don't worry about that. But so when you say victim, who's the victim? That's in case, even if you struck somebody's wall, they're potentially a restitution victim. So that's who I'm talking about. Everything else is going to be on your paperwork. So it still takes a few hours to get released. Try to be patient. Don't miss your court dates. We'll be able to see that you came through the jail, you got a chance to go on your own, and you didn't. So you would definitely get a bond if you don't go, okay? So just don't miss it. If you run into any trouble, by the way, I put the Superior Court phone number on your paperwork. I'm not going to reprint it for that. Wrong court. Yours is the West Mesa Justice Court. I think it's at the top. Hold on. If you can't make the court date, get on the phone and call them. It's at the very top. So the one that I put down there, it's for felonies. I got confused. These are misdemeanors. So call that court. Get your court date moved. But if you miss it, you're definitely getting a bond. Okay? All right. Take your paperwork. You'll be out in a few hours. Just don't miss that court date. Don't lose your paperwork. Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Joplin. And then Gage Garcia, you go to the chair.
Take your hat off.
Okay, so I need Mr. Lee, Spencer Lee, no, that was her, sorry. Mr. Joplin, getting everybody confused. I need Mr. Joplin, then I need Mr. Garcia. All right, sir, right here at the podium, please. Good morning, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth?
Derek Joplin, January 14th, 96.
Okay, thanks. You're here on two things. One is an arrest warrant for a felony case. One is a warrant in a misdemeanor case. I'm going to start with the felony matter. That's number 28 on the calendar. You have been charged in a criminal complaint, and this has been waiting to find you for about a year and a half. You've been charged with theft, a Class 3 felony, and trafficking in stolen property in the second degree, also a Class 3 felony. The alleged offense date is July 1st of 2023, and it looks like it comes out of the Gilbert Police Department. But you'll get a copy of the charges and police reports from your lawyer if you hire one. I'm not appointing a lawyer for you either because you do not appear to financially qualify. So I don't know if you heard what I told the last defendant. You have the right to hire somebody. You also have the right to represent yourself. If you do hire somebody, which certainly the court always recommends when anyone's charged with a felony, bring the court date. But you don't have to hire one. I'm just not appointing one for you. Your next court date is a status conference, October 10th. That's in 2 weeks. 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court with a preliminary hearing, October 14th in the same court, 8:30, and that address is on your paperwork. This is not a newly occurring case either, and so I'm going to follow the pretrial services recommendation, which is based on your criminal history, which is not nothing, of releasing you to pretrial services. So you have to report in, but it's a type of release on your own recognizance. You're going to get an envelope with instructions. Call it after you get out, and they'll tell you when and how they want you to check in. So just do what they tell you. Don't lose the envelope. All right, so that's the felony case, and you do have written conditions in that include no contact with any alleged victims, witnesses, or co-defendants in this case. Don't go to the scene of the alleged crimes. Often that's two places, wherever the theft allegedly occurred and then wherever the trafficking allegedly occurred, which could be a pawn shop or someplace like that. Don't go to the scenes of the alleged crimes. No contact with any alleged victims, witnesses, arresting officers, or co-defendants that you may have. No weapons. You are a prohibited possessor. No drugs without a valid prescription. So that's the felony case. Now you're also here on a warrant from West Mesa Justice Court. It's post-conviction for a driving on suspended license case. So you've already been convicted. This went out around the same time, April of 2024. And in this case, it looks like you owe them money, probably fines, fees, or something. So I released you in the felony case. I'm going to release you in this case also. I'm not appointing a lawyer for you because you've already been convicted. You just have to go talk to the West Mesa Justice Court about whatever it is that they still believe you owe them. That court date, it's actually set for October 14th as well. Okay, I'll tell you what to do, because I can't move that court date. In the felony case, your first court date is the 10th, October 10th. Your second one is the 14th. So when you get there on the 10th, be sure to tell the court, I have another court date on the 14th. Can we move my preliminary hearing? That's the easiest way. You could also call the Justice Court and say, I have to be in Superior Court on the 14th. Can you give me a different court date? What I like to tell people is when I release you and you have court dates in two places at the same time, it's on you to get one of them moved. You know about it. You have to resolve it. If you catch a warrant in one of those because you went to the other one, it's not going to stop the warrant from going out. So you decide accordingly what you're going to do. You have basic release conditions in that misdemeanor case as well. Everything's on your paperwork. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. If you step to your left, she'll give you the paperwork. Everything I just told you is on that paperwork.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sure. Mr. Garcia, and then Abimael Gazga, will you please go to the chair? Hello, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Gage Garcia, December 15th, 2003.
All right, thank you. You are here on a new case. You were arrested for criminal speeding. It's a Class 3 misdemeanor. We do not appoint lawyers in this kind of misdemeanor case. You have the right to hire one at your own expense, or just go to the North Mesa Justice Court and represent yourself. Your next court date is an arraignment hearing, October 16th at 1 in the afternoon. So October 16th, 1 in the afternoon. The address in Mesa is going to be on your paperwork. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. It looks like the police are not alleging that you have anything else. It says prior arrest, arrested for criminal speed. So I don't know if they're trying to say you've been arrested for this before or not. I can't tell. But on the theory that you don't like jail and you don't want this to happen again, I'm going to assume that you'll go.
Yeah.
Criminal speeding can be extremely serious, 120 miles an hour. If you cause an accident and survive it, you're going to be charged with aggravated assault, of the mandatory prison possibility, or probably second-degree murder if you kill someone with speed alone. You do not have to be impaired to go up on a vehicular murder charge. So, if you don't show up in North Mesa, we'll be able to see it, and even on a Class 3 misdemeanor, we're going to give you at least a little bond next time.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
if you don't like jail, go. On this kind of case, there's no mandatory jail. So as long as you show up and do what the court tells you, you'll probably never spend another night in jail.
I hope
You just
not.
have to go. So I'm releasing you. Everything's on your paperwork. It still takes hours to be released.
Yeah.
It's part of the fun. Try to be patient. You should be out hopefully by dinner time.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Mr. Gazga? And then Christina Clark, we go to the chair. Hello, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth?
Avi Madagascar, 51003.
Okay, thanks. You're here on two things. One's a new case. It's criminal speeding, a Class 3 misdemeanor, and also taking contraband into a correctional facility, which is a Class 5 felony. And I apologize, everybody. I've had a lot going on today. I got to reprint this one, too. Okay. 1 second. All right. Mr. Gazga. All right. They also booked you for taking contraband into a correctional facility, a Class 5 felony. But all they said was you had some white powder, had a straw. Sure seems like it's probably something that's prohibited, but they did not get nearly specific enough for probable cause. So for purposes of this hearing only, I do not find probable cause for the contraband charge, just the criminal speeding. I have to send you to Superior Court, though, because you are still accused of that felony. I'm just not setting release conditions as though it were a felony. I'm basically ignoring that when I'm setting release conditions. I hope that makes sense. That's what you're entitled to. I don't know if you paid attention to the gentleman at the top of the calendar. When there was no probable cause, he's entitled to be released. It's because that was his entire case. Yours is not the entire case. It's the felony part. There is probable cause for the criminal speeding. So I'm going to give you a lawyer and a court date because you are accused of a felony, even though I didn't find probable cause for purposes of this hearing. So your status conference will be October 10th at 8:30 in the morning. That's in about 2 weeks. Preliminary hearing October 14th at 8:30. And I do have to send you to Superior Court because the contraband charge is a felony. So that's why your court date is down there. And you can go over with your lawyer what they may have, the county attorney may have ultimately charged you with. They may wait to get laboratory reports before they bring that as a felony. Many things could happen. So you just have to show up and find out. I'm really not seeing any adult history for you. I see a fair amount of juvenile history, but nothing that I'm planning to hold against you on a criminal speeding charge. So go show up for court, comply with your release conditions. Don't play with missing court dates in adult court. It is not juvenile court. We do not slap people on the wrist and ask them nicely to please do better. We don't. So just comply with your conditions and come to court, okay? I just released you on your own recognizance. Good luck. If you step to your left, you get your paperwork. All right, Ms. Clark, Christina Clark. And then I'm going to do the FOJs. I'll call them all in at once, give them the spiel, and then I'll do the cases one at a time. All right. Hi, ma'am. Can I have your full name and your date of birth?
Christina Clark, 2285.
Okay, thanks. You're here on a new case. You're booked in for assault as a Class 1 domestic violence misdemeanor. There is probable cause for that. And I can't remember if I am or I'm not. I got to look at this. It says I'm appointing a lawyer, but you came up not indigent.
Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
I was just wondering what evidence
You come up indigent.
the police have submitted to even make
I will just quickly answer it, just so you know. I'm not debating it, and I'm not even here to decide whether you did it. Just whether there's probable cause, which, as any lawyer would tell you, is a very low standard. So, the essential one is they allege, and I'm planning to release you. Spoiler alert. So you don't need to say things that could be used against you. This is being recorded. So if you want to talk back about it, you're not likely to get any better result. I'm already planning to release you. But since you asked nicely and I can do it quickly, I'm going to answer your question. They allege that you admitted hitting the victim 2 or 3 times with a closed hand on the chest. That is assault under Arizona law, if you did it. So I just find probable cause. There's probable cause. They say that you admitted doing it, and there was some corroboration to it looking around at the rest of the case. So I am appointing a lawyer for you, it turns out. And so you can talk to, except I did the wrong agency. Okay, so we have to reprint this anyway, because you need a public defender, because you're going to justice court. So I am appointing the Maricopa County Public Defender to represent you in the justice court. You guys can go over police reports, you can go over any final charge or charges in the case. That's going to be October 14th at 9:30 in the morning. The address is on your paperwork. Just don't miss it. You don't appear to have any criminal history. So in domestic violence cases like this, I would say 9.5 out of 10 of the ones we get, we order no contact and the person has to move. But we do sometimes get cases like yours where it is a long-term relationship, they have kids, never been arrested before, and what they're accused of doing on an absolute continuum does not indicate necessarily that you're dangerous to that victim. So under those circumstances, I will basically, I'll do sort of a hybrid order. So I'm not specifically prohibiting you from going home or from having contact with the alleged victim, who I think, are you married or you just have children?
Yeah, we're married.
Okay. You can contact him, but you can't have uninvited contact with him. So if you call him and say, will you pick me up from jail? And he says, I do not want to talk to you, you just got uninvited. In which case, the rest of it kicks in, which means you have to find a different place to stay, you have to bring proof to your next court date, and while you can still see your kids, you can't violate the no contact order just to see your kids. But because of the factors I said, no criminal history, what you're accused of doing is not so terrible on a grand continuum of things, I'm willing to put it in his hands. So he can also revoke that consent. You can't live there unless he continuously consents to have you there. So if 3 days from now everything goes bad and he says, get out, and you don't, and the cops get called, you're going to get arrested for violating my order because you got clearly uninvited.
If the cops get called, though, like,
don't play with that, man.
I'm just saying, like,
I'm just speaking
he tends
practically.
to say a lot
I'm
of
just speaking
things.
practically. At the moment he disinvites you, you are in violation of my order. Practically speaking, the bad outcome would be the police get called and you get arrested for a potential felony violation of my order. So I did put this felony statute on there. One act committed in violation of a no victim contact order, if booked as a felony ag harassment and the court finds probable cause that that act was harassing, the court has to find that that single act was harassment. If it's in violation of this order, that's felony aggravated harassment. So you go from 0 criminal history to a felony charge. And I just tell people all of this to try to get them to be smart, keep the peace, don't do anything that could get you accused of violating this. If you play with an order like this around the edges, you are being very foolish, because this can go from not good, this is not a good situation, to truly life-changing and very bad.
This is like
Even getting accused of a felony, it can be life-changing, much less everything that happens from here until the end of this case can and will be used against you if you ever end up in family court. All of this gets brought up in family court. So if you can't follow release conditions, you get accused of violating them. If you ever end up in family court with this person, and you may not, it'll be used against you. So I just tell you all of that. You are presumed innocent. I tell you all of that to try to keep people making smart decisions while the case is pending. Don't do things that could get you accused of violating my orders. Be good, keep the peace, go to court and meet with your lawyer. You're innocent until proven guilty. Doesn't mean you're entitled to violate the court order. So I gave you the very favorable, it never gets any more favorable than this for me. Even if the victim's literally in court asking to have contact with you and let you get home, I still put the uninvited language in there because things can go wrong. There's going to be 2.5 weeks between now and court. You guys get in a fight and they say get out, then you have to get out. So just be super clear on that. Keep the peace. As long as he's okay with it, you can stay there. If he says, no, I'm not okay with it, these orders kick in. And he's going to end up with a copy of them.
No, another question. If he does say that before the court date, can I do anything about the children? Like, can I take the children with me?
And so I'm not a family court. I don't make family court orders. So the answer is, I don't know. You'll need legal advice on that. What I can tell you is my orders do not prohibit you from having contact with your children. They do not authorize you to violate my orders so that you can have contact with your children. So at that point, you need legal advice, and you need to be very careful. And as I always tell people, if you're in that position, it is no legal excuse to violating that no victim contact order. Well, I couldn't see my kids otherwise. Well, I couldn't. That's not a legal defense. And I'm not carving that out for you. You guys just have to work that out. If you need to go to family court, go to family court. If he serves you with an order of protection that kicks you out of the house, that is going to override my order. Let me make sure I put that in there. You have to obey the terms of any order of protection. So if you get home and he's got an order of protection that gets served on you that kicks you out of the house, bang, well, plus you just got uninvited. So that is between you guys. That's civil at this point. I'm not making any orders about your kids. This is not the time or venue to do that. So consult with a lawyer. You know, you have to figure out what, if anything, you need to do with respect to the kids.
One more question. Yeah. I had filed 2 protective orders, but they were online, and I was told I had to go to the courthouse in order to get those, like, finalized, or is that correct? I'm not involved. I haven't issued orders of protection in about 4 years, so I don't know what the procedure may be now. It's only certain assignments where you do that. So I genuinely don't know, ma'am. I can't help you with that. I'd say get online, call. You know, there's a website. So just get online and you know, see what guidance there is, or just call that court and ask. Okay.
All right, but I am releasing you, so you'll be able to call.
Okay.
Everything's on your paperwork, and if you need a list of shelters or anything like that, that is available. As you go out of intake, you may need to ask for it, though, and just say, do you have like a community resource shelter list? I'm told there is one back there. I hope that's true. Okay. All right, if you step to your left, you get the paperwork.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, then I'm going to have our 3 out-of-staters come in together, please. I'm going to give you some preliminary information, and then I'll do your cases one at a time, and that is Ms. Keene, Ms. Helling, and Mr. Howard. Will you please all come in? Ms. Helling. All right, let's get everybody in here. I'm not going to do your cases all at once. I'm just going to do the preliminary part all at once. Okay. So each of you is here on an out-of-state warrant, which is very different than an in-state warrant because you're in the extradition land. And so I just want to make sure I give you the nutshell version of what is in the cards that we gave you, because that's complicated for lawyers to read, much less non-lawyers. So I'm going to ask each of you as you come up, I'm going to tell you why you're here, and then I'm going to ask what you want to do. And there's really only 2 choices today. You could waive extradition and agree to go back to the state that wants you. Or you could say, I want to keep my rights, at least for today, because you can waive them later. This is just your first opportunity. You can say, I want to keep my rights, I'll go to court. In which case, I'm going to set bail and give you a court hearing. So let's start with waiving. If you want to just agree to go back to that state, that's called waiving extradition, and you have to give up some rights to do it. And it's very formal, and I'll ask you some formal questions. Those rights, in a nutshell, are each of you has the right to have an extradition hearing here in Arizona within 90 days after today. Each of you has the right, as part of that extradition process, to have a governor's warrant, literally live signed by the sitting governors of both states and presented to the Arizona court as part of that 90-day extradition process. That's part of why they get 90 days total, because it can take time to get the governor's signatures. So that's the governor's warrant you have the right to. You have the right to hire a lawyer at your own expense. But extradition proceedings are not criminal proceedings. They're civil proceedings. The criminal proceedings are happening in the state that wants you. So we don't appoint a lawyer for you. You do have the right to hire one at your own expense or to just represent yourself. The last right is that as to each of you, because it doesn't look like any of these are parole or probation warrants, each of you will have the right to bail if you do not waive. And so I'll tell you what bail I'm inclined to set in a moment so that you can consider it. But you can bypass that entire 90-day process and agree to go back. And that's called waiving, in which case the extradition case will end today because you're just going to sit in the jail for 30 calendar days and see if they come and get you. If you waive your rights, I must hold you without bond for those 30 days. We don't let people agree to go back and then go run around. You have to wait in the jail. You are unable to bond out for those 30 days. That state gets notified, and provided you don't have any Arizona charges or holds, they have 30 calendar days starting the day after you waive to come and get you. If you have an Arizona charge or hold, then the clock stops. You deal with the Arizona case, and then the seeking state's clock starts over at day 1. So even if it's just like a criminal traffic ticket that pops up 2 weeks later. say Texas wants you. Well, Texas's clock stops, you deal with the traffic, misdemeanor, and then Texas's clock starts over at day 1. So I just want everybody to know, I don't see other cases for you guys. I see some of you have like non-extraditable warrants from other places. It has to be an Arizona one in order to stop that 30-day clock. If they don't pick you up, then you do get released, but the warrant stays active in the national system, and you could be arrested on it later the same day. I have seen it happen. And so you have to do something about it in the state that wants you, because I cannot quash warrants in other states. I don't have the power. So that warrant stays live and active even when they don't come and get you. It may seem unfair, but that is the way the law works. So that's waiving, and then you don't get a governor's warrant. You don't have an extradition hearing, and you can't bail out. You could still hire a lawyer because you always can, but at that point it won't matter because there's no court case. In any event, so it's a 90-day clock with bond for each of you if you don't waive. I'll tell you in a minute what I'm contemplating. Or you can bypass the whole thing and wait in the jail, no bond for 30 calendar days to see if they come and get you. So, Ms. Helling, if you do not post bond, it is my current intention to set bail in the amount of $10,000 secured. Mr. Howard, if you don't post bond, I'm going to affirm California's bond amount, which is $75,000 secured. And Ms. Keene, in your case, if you do not waive bond, it's the court's inclination to set bond in the amount of $25,000 cash only. And that is because of your long criminal, and we'll talk about it, we don't have to do it right now, your criminal history of this type of offense and the type of offense. The court is very concerned you have access to fake ID and illegitimate money. So we can talk more about that in a second. I just want you to know, because I don't think you can you can't weigh your decision properly unless you have some idea of what the court would do if you don't waive. So, Mr. Howard, do you have any questions? Okay, let me have you stay here because you seem like you don't have as much thinking to do as the other two. If you want time to think, I'm going to take somebody else first. But ladies, I'll have you take your cards and go ahead and step out to the left. I'm going to do Mr. Howard's case. All right, sir, can I have your full name and your date of birth?
John Edward Howard, August 20th, 1972.
Okay, thanks. You are here on a warrant from the state of California. It says it's failure to appear on an attempted robbery charge, and the warrant was issued December 11th of 2023 looks like it comes from the San Jose Police Department, and that is in Santa Clara County. So they have said that they want to come get you. If you don't post bail today, if you don't waive your rights today, it's my intent to affirm their bond, which is $75,000 secured, and then I would give you a court date of October 6th. That would be your first court date in extradition court. You're still on the 90-day clock. If you don't waive today, you're on the 90-day clock. You have a $75,000 bail, and I'm going to give you a court date, October 6th at 1:30. But if you wanted to give up your rights, I can take your waiver, and that would start that 30 calendar day clock tomorrow. You would be held no bond, and you would not have any more court hearings. You just wait and see if they come and get you. So any questions for me about that or what I went over earlier?
No, ma'am.
Okay, do you know what you want to do today?
Yeah, I want to go back.
You don't want to? Okay, all right. Then I'm going to note that you keep your rights, and I'm going to give you that bond and a court date. The court date is October 6th, 1:30 in the afternoon in the downtown Superior Court. If you bond out and you do not go, Arizona is going to keep your bond money, and we're going to put out a warrant for your arrest right on top of the California one. So if you bond out, do not miss your Arizona court date, and you may not go to California or anywhere else without the extradition judge's permission. So I don't want anybody to think that I can go try to take care of it in California. You cannot. Go talk to the extradition judge, ask her, tell her your plan, see if she will let you. Sure. But I'm not giving you permission to leave the state right now. You got to show up if you post bond. If you don't post bond, they'll take you over on October 6th. You'll see the extradition judge and just proceed with your case from there. If you decided to waive on October 6th, the probation judge can take a waiver from you as well. She'll take it from you basically anytime you're in court. All right, so everything's going to be on your paper. We're getting it printed up with a copy of your rights that you did keep, and we're going to send it out to you if you go ahead and have a seat.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Helen, you want to come up? Hello, ma'am. Can I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Christy Lee Helling, 12/13/1984.
Okay, thanks. You are here on a warrant for possession of marijuana and bail jumping out of Wisconsin. It is January 8th, 2025 was the issuance date. and it looks like this comes, so Sheboygan, which is, might be Milwaukee, anyway, it's Sheboygan County.
Wisconsin, yes.
Okay, so, just for anybody, doing a transcript of this ever, I did go over kind of a nutshell version of the two, outcomes that are possible from today's hearing. Either you waive or you do not waive.
Yeah, I'm not waiving.
Any questions? You don't want to waive?
Yeah, I'm not waiving, because
Okay.
I don't understand why, I don't have no new charges, I got a bail, I mean, I get
Okay.
it, but I don't,
That's fine.
but I'm not,
It's fine.
so I shouldn't be
Not a
forced
problem.
to jail 30 days if Wisconsin doesn't come get me, but all right.
Right, all right, not a problem. I'm going to note that you keep your rights. Your court date is going to be October 6th at 1:30. You have a $10,000 secured appearance bond. As I noted to the prior gentleman, if you post that bond and you do not come to the Phoenix, Arizona court dates, we will keep your bond money. We will issue an Arizona warrant for your arrest right on top of the existing Wisconsin one.
Yeah, there won't be no bond money.
Don't miss court if you do.
Yeah, I'll be here.
All right, then
Yeah,
everything's on your paperwork, and we're going to print it up, and we're going to give you a copy of your rights because you are keeping them. So we're going to give you a copy to keep for yourself, okay? If you step out to your left, you'll be all done, and we'll send that out. Thank you. All right. Oh, yeah, sorry. Ms. Keene? All right, ma'am, can I have your full name and your date of birth?
Kenya Keene, 3979.
Okay, thanks. You are here on a warrant from DeSoto County, Florida, where it appears you have been charged with larceny, and this warrant issued December 6th of last year, 2024. Now, they list that they have 2 warrants on file. I'm only able to see you on this one, so I always warn people, you may end up brought back here at the point that Florida says, hey, we want her on the other warrant as well. We just take the first one listed. So I'm seeing you on larceny, a theft of $750 or more, but less than $5,000. That is listed as a no bond warrant. I'll talk about that in a second. It says there's also a second fraud warrant out for you, uttering a false bill or promissory note. Second warrant. Oh, and that's driving one on.
None of that should be. But that's problematic because...
Okay, well, I'm going to finish talking and then I'll give you a chance to explain, okay? Because I need to get through what this is.
Okay.
So, all right, so that's what I'm seeing you here for. And they have confirmed that they want to extradite you. So, the reason for the bail is not only that you are facing 2 warrants out of there for these kinds of things, but according to this, you've got grand theft, 1, 2, they allege 3 convictions, and they do allege an older conviction from 2005 as well. So you have criminal priors. You've also, according to criminal history records, you are actively on probation or supervised release out of Florida for uttering forged bills. So I just warn you, these may be post-conviction probation warrants. I can't tell. If they are, you're not entitled to bond at all. And by law, I should be holding you without bail. You don't have to tell me whether they are or not. You're not under any obligation to tell me. But I'm just warning you, if at some point later, if you don't waive your rights, you're going to go to extradition court. Then you, the court, the prosecutor, and there's a public defender generally assigned to that court, you're all going to be looking at much more specific paperwork. If it turns out you are actually on probation and these are probation warrants, the judge is going to order that you be held no bond. So I can't tell. I'm unable to tell. So I'm presuming that you are entitled to bond. But factoring all that in, which is you've got another theft warrant out of Maryland from 2013 that it appears you never have gone and dealt with, and that is a misdemeanor theft charge. It may or may not be a misdemeanor. It says failure to appear theft under $1,000, extradite from surrounding states only. So this court believes that there's way too much surrounding your criminal history and these charges that the court is going to trust you not to flee on a secured bail. So that's the reason for the bond. What did you want to tell me?
Okay, so all of that is ludicrous because I did my probation and parole. I did all of it, paid every restitution, and the day after my probation was over, my parole officer violated me. They arrested me 2 days later. I went to court. No, I stayed in jail for 2 days, bonded out, and everything was finished and done with. So where all of these warrants came from, I have no idea, because everything that was a warrant, I went to court for, got all of my judgments for, and did my probation up to the very last day.
Okay, 1 second. I'm going to read it to you. What I put in here is this is a note, it's also for the probation judge. I put, note, this may be a post-conviction warrant. The court is unable to determine that from the paperwork available at the IA hearing. Defendant was informed that bond would be set in an abundance of caution, but that if it is a post-conviction warrant, Arizona law will require that she be held without bail. Now, I am going to go on what the paperwork is, because I did caution you about confirming to me that it's a post-conviction warrant. I don't want to be in the position of the only way that I think it's post-conviction is from things that you told me when you have the right to remain silent, and I'm concerned that you didn't understand that. Because what you just told me strongly indicates that I should be holding you without bail. I am not, and this court does not, confirm whether a warrant is valid. The question in extradition proceedings are, does that state want you? If you want to fight this, if you want to fight the validity of the warrant, then of course you should not waive at this hearing, because you won't go back in court and you won't have an opportunity to fight it. If you waive extradition, you will lose your opportunity to fight about the validity of that warrant. But this court does not determine that. I have to make a decision on what's happening next. So I have only two outcomes that I can do at this hearing, because the government's not represented here, the public defender's not here. And this is the type of case where if you ask the extradition judge, she may well appoint the public defender for you in her discretion. You just don't have a constitutional right to it, which is why I cannot. The probation judge can do it in her discretion. And sometimes if cases are complicated, I believe she may agree. So, but there is a public defender generally there assigned because our county has the resources, and that defendants can consult with them and get legal advice. So you may or may not be correct about the status of your case at the moment that you left Florida. I don't know. I'm not in a position to tell. What I have is an unequivocal statute that says if this is a post-conviction warrant from another state, I must hold you without bail. I am not going to do that because right now I don't have paperwork that supports that. You have just said things that strongly indicate that, but I'm not going to, I don't personally, I'm not comfortable with going that far on making an assumption based on things that the defendant told me that in response to possibly not understanding their right to remain silent about that. So it would still be my inclination, if you don't want to give up your rights today, to set bail at $25,000 cash. If you post it and you don't go on the 6th, we are going to issue a warrant for you. Even if you're right about the Florida situation, we will issue a warrant for you because you have to be in court to resolve this. And if you don't post bail, you'll be back in court on October 6th. You could ask the probation judge to appoint the public defender. You can go over what's available with your public defender. I have very limited information. It comes from a national information exchange system. You have the right to more discovery and more disclosure in this extradition case, but that happens later. And so I'm not gonna take a chance on you when I'm staring at paperwork from Florida saying this is a valid warrant and they want you held no bond. So you may be right. I'm not able to resolve that. So that's not going to happen. So you still have the same choice, which is you keep your rights, you go to court October 6th, 1:30 p.m., and you get the bail. Or you can agree to go back to Florida, waive your rights, that'll start that 30-day clock. But you'll be held no bond and you won't ever go back to court. So I'm guessing you probably want to fight it, but I can't decide for you.
I'll fight it.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to set your hearing October 6th at 1:30. As I said, bail is set in the amount of $25,000 cash only. If you do post it, don't miss your court date. You can get that bond back if you show up for all your court dates, whether you're right or wrong. If you show up for all your court dates, you get that bond back. But you have to go through the extradition judge to do it. Everything is on your paperwork. We're going to print up a copy of your rights and we'll send it out for you. All right. If you go ahead and step out your level, we'll send that out. Thank you. Oh, yeah. All righty. Where'd that go? I lost my place. Here it is. Okay. Okay. So officers, I've got Mr. Goldblatt, Ms. Pugh, and Mr. McKelvey as house calls. Are they not present in court because they've been isolated by the sheriff's office as a potential risk to themselves or others?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. I do have an affirmative answer from the sheriff's office. So we'll conduct all three of those initial appearances in person, in-house, immediately after this proceeding. And I will advise Daniel Goldblatt, 12/28/2002, that he's here on a new case. He got arrested for possession of dangerous drugs, a class 1 felony, and criminal trespassing as a class 3 misdemeanor. There is probable cause for those. I'm appointing a lawyer for him in an abundance of caution. I am not positive that he's indigent, but I am planning to set bail, and I want to make sure that he has counsel in place if he's not able to afford it. So his status conference is going to be October 2nd at 8:30, preliminary hearing October 6th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. And I'm currently inclined to set bail in the amount of $2,000 secured with written conditions. And it appears he may be from California, so if he posts the bail, then I'm willing to let him travel back and forth to California between now and his next court date. And if he returns to Sky Harbor Airport, he has to comply with all state and federal laws and all of the lawful authorities' orders at that location. All right, Felicia Pugh, 11/17/94 is here on 2 matters. They're both probation warrants, and I will finish that in 1 second. Shall we do Mr. Kone?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, right here, sir?
Yes.
All right, right here, sir. And we're clear, right, officer? We're clear, officer? Okay, thanks. All right, so may I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Abdul, first name Abdul, last name is Kone,
What's your date of birth?
April 1st, 92.
All right, thank you. You are here on a new case. You were arrested for molestation of a child, that's a class 2 felony, sexual abuse, a class 5 felony, and sexual conduct with a minor as a class 6 felony. There is probable cause for those, and I am appointing a lawyer to represent you. Your next court date will be a status conference this Thursday, October 2nd at 8:30 in the morning, with a preliminary hearing October 6th at 8:30. Those will be in the downtown Superior Court, based on what's been alleged against you, and your...
The state is present.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you. I got on a roll talking so much. Okay, sorry. Go ahead and announce, ma'am. Please.
Thank you. Dawn Sauer on behalf of the state.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, so Mr. Kone, before I determine release or bail conditions in your case, I am going to hear from the prosecutor, and you'll be able to see her in the little box over there on that screen. All right, go ahead, ma'am.
Your Honor, the state is seeking a high cash-only bond of $250,000, and if posted, no returning to the scene, electronic monitoring, no contact with minors, and no internet. The state is concerned regarding the nature of the allegations, show that the defendant is a danger to the community, specifically to minors, and there were 2 separate victims in this matter. The state is also concerned with other information in the Form 4 regarding the defendant being a suspect in other similar cases from another jurisdiction.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Kone, I have heard the prosecutor's recommendation and I read their written recommendation. I've considered your criminal history, which at this point in time, as far as we can tell, has no felony convictions. You have many misdemeanor convictions from South Dakota, but those are largely, it looks like, marijuana, petty theft, resisting arrest, and failure to appear. You've had many arrests and on more serious charges out of South Dakota, but virtually all of them show that they were dismissed on motion of the state. And so it's difficult for the court to decide how much, if any, weight to assign to that arrest history. In addition, there are a number of allegations made without a tremendous amount of support about things that you may have been accused of in other locations at other times. And so the court has to weigh all of those things, and I will say I did not miss the allegations from other places, but it basically says listed as a suspect and then gave a conclusory recitation. And so I am not going to assign any real weight to those because I don't have a full PC statement or anything like that to where the court would say it's proper to consider those or give them or overweight them on some Rule 404C theory. But on these facts and the strength of evidence alleged, the court does find there is an indication that, a strong indication that you pose a risk of danger to children in the community and that you may, there's probable cause to believe you have a sexual interest in underage females. And so if not children. And so the court believes that the appropriate bail in your case is $100,000, but that would be cash only because the court is very concerned about the safety risk and the fact that if you are convicted on at least one of these cases, you may face one of these counts, the molestation, that you could face a mandatory prison sentence. And the court is very concerned about the possibility of victim or witness intimidation or retaliation, which is another reason that bail can be set in Arizona. So balancing all of those many factors, the court sets bail in the amount of $100,000. That is cash only. If you post it, you will be on an ankle monitor. That's by law because you're accused of sexually motivated felonies. So you must be on an ankle monitor. I'm also going to impose alcohol testing because the police allege that there was alcohol involved in what led you here today. No contact with the alleged victims or any witness. No contact with anyone under the age of 18. I am including any minor children of your own because people who engage in sexual contact with children show a propensity based on research to continue to engage in that kind of behavior, and they often do it against their own children. So the court, it believes that caution is required with respect to any of your children. So no contact with your own children unless a later court orders that you can. You may not use the internet for any reason except work, school, or your legal defense, and you are prohibited from using social media of any kind for any reason. No weapons, no drugs, no alcohol. All right, anything else from the state?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, so that'll, I don't think I changed anything. Okay, so we've got your paperwork for you. What did you want to say, sir?
Yeah, I do have a child, and I have a job too. My family don't know that I'm here,
All right, well, you can use a bail bondsman for a cash bail. I believe they charge more, but you can call a bail bondsman and talk to them about what that may require. I show that you told pretrial you don't live with your child currently, and so it should be easy to respect that condition. And if you want that changed, talk to your lawyer about that. But on these facts, with the safety of children in the community, specifically these victims, and the possibility that you might flee to avoid a very potentially serious sentence, the court's not going to set bail in any lesser amount. So if you step to your left, you get your paperwork, you'll be back in court next week, and you can talk to your lawyer. All right, thank you. And thank you, Ms. Sauer, sorry again for forgetting you. And you're welcome to disconnect. I'm just going to read house calls now.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All righty, so I was on Felicia Pugh, when I left off about 5 minutes ago, and she was born 11/17/94. She's here on 2 probation warrants, and this is because there were petitions to revoke filed against her in both cases, February 4th, 2025, alleging she violated terms 3 and 5. I'm going to give her a court date in probation court on October 2nd at 8:30 in the morning for a revocation arraignment and possible disposition hearing. That is in both cases, and in each case, in the 2022 case, I'm affirming the $500 secured appearance bond in number 11 on the calendar. The 2024 case, I'm setting bond in the amount of $250 secured. So that'll be $750 secured total. That is my inclination at this moment in time, and I'll give her written release conditions that I will go over with her. Michael McKelvey, born 8/26/87, is here on a warrant from Goodyear City Court in the disorderly conduct case, class 1 misdemeanor. I am appointing a lawyer for him. I didn't do the lawyer language, but that his court date's going to be October 1, which is Wednesday at 8:30 in the morning in Goodyear City Court, and I'm planning to set bail in the amount of $250 secured with written conditions that I will go over with him. And if anything changes after I conduct these 3 initial appearances in-house, my final orders will reflect the court's ultimate decision in the case. It is not the court's intention to make any further recording about that. My final order will be in writing. And with that, we're going to stand in recess until 2 p.m. this afternoon.